Hello, everyone. Welcome to Icewind Dale Corrupted. Yes, this is the tone we're going for today. Thank you for joining us for some Dungeons and Dragons. I am Chris. I'll be your dungeon master for the evening, and we're thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/D&D and twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted. So, what are we doing? We are playing a tabletop role-playing game. For those who are unaware of what that is, the 5 people arrayed around me, like the constellation of glory that they are playing characters, individual characters in a shared fantasy setting who interact with each other. They have character sheets in front of them, digital character sheets, which we're using thanks to D&D Beyond. Sponsor shout out. And those character sheets allow them to add numbers or subtract, in some case, numbers to things that they try to do. I will ask them to roll a 20-sided dice, which is one of these. And then whenever they roll that, they will either achieve what they're trying to do or fail hilariously. 20s and above are normally successes, and 1 is low and bad, and what is known as a critical failure. You can look out for those, and especially from our resident wizard, George Ashra. You've had some bad luck this campaign, that's what that is.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I play literally everyone else they encounter. So everyone else in the world, non-player characters, weather patterns, all that sort of thing. That is all me. You are joining us for the 4th chapter of our adventure. You can catch the previous chapters at you can catch previous chapters on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/adventurerswanted. They will also be on our Twitch channel every week, and we're streaming Monday evenings every week, so you can keep catching up with the story there as well. And I will go into detail about what these courageous adventurers are encountering in a moment, because let's meet them all properly first. So, Emma, starting with you, could you please give your name, your pronouns, your character's name, their pronouns, and a bit about what's happened to them up to this point?
So I'm Emma. Sorry, I did say please don't do me first.
So you're right there.
I'm using she, her pronouns today. My character's name is Prosp'rus. Prosp'rus is a half-orc paladin of Chantier. Prosp'rus is here protecting people, mostly, and is very excited about potentially going on an adventure across the glacier, which everyone else seems to think is going to be super dangerous. I'm not entirely sure why. Prosp'rus is gender fluid, but is using he, him pronouns today.
Thank you. George.
Hello, I am George, and I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Ashra, who uses she, her pronouns. Ashra is a human wizard, a necromancer, who is the wizard in charge, at least nominally, of the Howling Ravine encampment, where we all are.
Lovely. Thank you. Rebecca?
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Ivy, a human monk who also uses she, her pronouns. Ivy is currently quite cross with herself because she has maybe done less good a job of not drawing attention to herself than she'd like in the last 24 hours.
Okay, that's not ominous at all. Poe?
My name is Poe, and I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Viktor, who uses he, him pronouns, who works as a doctor at Camp Howell, and is now, I guess, about to be in the black goo trading business, because he's tried some black goo.
Sounds weird.
He'd like to feed it to people.
Okay. And finally, Red.
Hi, I'm Red. He, him, playing Milk. Also he, him. Milk is a tiefling spy and a bit of a ne'er-do-well who happens to have the let's get out of the way children of an alien god nested into his face. And he's a bit perturbed by what's going on. Generally, he thinks he's the one who knows what's going on when there are alien-y weird things involved, and yet everyone else seems really happy to just dive on in and suck it all up. So we're going to see what happens to him.
Dive on in and suck it all up is a turn of phrase in this adventure.
Right.
Slogan. Campaign slogan.
Oh, God. Right, before we kick off, a couple of areas of business. The stream runs for roughly 3 hours, of which we've now taken up a little bit, and we'll continue until 9 p.m. BST. There'll be a break, about 10-15 minutes, somewhere near the middle, so it's improvised, so we'll have to work that one out as we go. We have a number of sponsors we'd like to shout out at the top of the show. First of all, our mainline sponsor, D&D Beyond, who have helped us from the get-go with everything that we do online. They provide us with the ability to create characters online with character sheets, which makes the creation of characters in D&D, which can be a little bit arcane, super simple and super easy. You can head to dndbeyond.com/link, dndbeyond.link/adventurers wanted. My apologies. The link will be in Twitch chat properly. To find out more there about what they do. They also offer a rules compendium for Dungeon Masters, which I tend to use while we're DMing, while we're playing, and they also offer a variety of encounter builders, initiative trackers, rules compendiums. It's a fantastic service and thoroughly recommended. They're also sponsored by Ultra Pro. Ultra Pro, on the other hand, are all about the physical tabletop. So they provide quite a lot of the dice that we use, and we play with a lot of their character wallets and other things like that. They also have a roaring trade in D&D peripherals, so cute things you can have at your D&D table, like this. Look at that little snoof. Look at it. Look at it. That, for those of you who are not D&D noids, is what's called a GIF. 2 F's at the end, and GIFs are a race of hippos that travel around the various planes of existence, and they are just adorable little schnuffs. They tend to be 7 to 8 foot tall in D&D terms, so normally a bit scarier than this, but this one is an adorable one for your desk. If you join us in the Twitch chat today, just join in the Twitch chat, say hello, doesn't matter what you say really, just if you are a part of the Twitch chat, you will be entered into a competition to win one of those delightful little schnuffs. We will be in touch with you about where, if we can send it to you. UK address holders only for the time being, thanks to the state of the world. But we will come back to that over time as we go. Finally, we play with a diverse set of players who play a diverse set of characters, and our tables are resolutely trans-positive, and we both encourage and champion trans players and characters in our games. As such, the DM and players may portray characters of a gender that is not their own. And while we aim to avoid misgendering in all instances, we do appreciate it does sometimes happen and have a policy for correction, which you'll see live happening at the table. And if you think we've missed anything or we've done anything particularly untoward in that respect, do feel free to reach out either through Twitch chat or Twitter, any of the other social media services that we have, just to make that point, make it clear. We also use a bunch of safety tools in our games. You will see pause cards being used throughout the stream. This one's mine. It's upside down. There it is. You will see pause cards used throughout the stream. Players will pause if they need to. That can be for any reason, and it does mean that we will take a pause in proceedings to check in with each other. So just so you know, that's something that we do and encourage in home game environments as well. Cool. I think that's basically it from me. That's all of our AOB. So without further ado, let's start Chapter 4 of Icewind Dale, Corrupted. So, last time, our party are all members of Camp Hell. Camp Hell is an encampment for the Arcane Brotherhood, a group of, I was going to say nefarious mages. That's probably cutting it a bit too harshly, like mages with stuff, mages with issues. And that group are working...
Harsh.
That group of mages have hired or have employed or have brought along the rest of the party to work with them to dig beneath the Reghead Glacier, a gigantic glacier spanning the north of Faerun, under which they believe, as has now been revealed, a Netherese city is buried. Netheril being an ancient magical civilization with access to magics that the wizards of today can only dream of. As part of their excavation, the party have discovered a part of the city, and as part of discovering that part of the city, they've discovered the city's food supply, a strange black ooze that appears to be very nutritious, but also, as some of our party have discovered, potentially slightly warped and corrupted, potentially by the ancient god of the Reghead nomads known as the Devourer that lives beneath the ice. Who can say? Who indeed can say?
What's the name of the campaign again? Icewind Dale, happy, nice food things happen?
Icewind Dale, positivity.
Free lunch. Icewind Dale, free lunch.
Anyway, at the end of the last session, the party had returned to Camp Howell, back on not quite the surface of the glacier, but out of the depths. They had recognised that they may need to work out what to do about this black ooze, because this is also a camp with a food shortage. And... Red, Milk, you telepathically communed with some of this ooze without touching it and without ingesting it. And in doing so, a rather terrible voice uttered the word devour to you. What do you do after you hear the word devour echoing through your head in that rather ominous way that I did at the end of the last episode?
So Milk kind of just leans back a little bit, sort of looks up into the ether and is like, hey, how are you?
You get no response.
Um,
The lingering psionic echo of this, like, quite loud, psionically pervasive voice that just uttered devour in your mind is still, like, echoing weirdly.
I will ask it for its name. I'll reach out and see if it can hear me, speak back to it.
Go ahead.
With another hello. Hello? Hello?
Your familiar Melanoe, a floating octopus, floats over to your shoulder and sits there and goes, and in your mind telepathically communicates with you. I don't think it's quite in a place where it can have a fully fledged conversation yet, darling.
Fair enough. I will just reach out to it. Sorry, I've forgotten the word it said. Devour. Convenient. I will note that bears some similarity to the name of the name of the god that is supposed to live under the ice. I just want to sense, if I can, how awake it is. I guess how lively.
Can you roll me It is a check. I'm not sure what kind of check it's going to be, because I would have said something like Arcana, but your magic is not your smarts, your intelligence. Your magic is your charisma. Your magic is your force of personality. I think just a flat charisma check, if that's okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
10. Rather disappointingly.
As you reach out with your psionic abilities, with your presence, trying to get a better sense of this whatever it is, currently just a presence, it is alien. You are aware of alien presences. You have some in your face, but you can't quite coalesce physicality or context to it. It is just, for the time being, this low-level psionic hum and ripple, still echoing strangely with this devour. The emotional tone is one of, with a 10, it's very hard to read. It has a certain amount of presence. Bless you. It has a certain amount of presence, like it's there, it's strong. It's the underlying hum has this strong, like almost odor, like it's just pungently there. But it doesn't have much of a character. It doesn't have much of a context. It just feels like...
Do I feel like it was saying its name or giving a command with the word devour?
You can't be sure. Not with that roll. Okay. I will say that you've had this low-level psionic hum for quite some time now, and it's not negative. It's not aggressive. It's not barbed. What it seems to have is more of a vague sense of home.
Okay.
I
guess I'll just sit with that sensation as long as I can hold on to it.
You don't need to focus or concentrate. As the echo of this word echoes out psionically from you, you can feel that this presence is now stronger. You can feel it closer, and you can feel that sense of it being more pervasive. The rest of you in the camp, you were just having a discussion together, and then Ashra gave a speech very much saying, the mine is off limits while we deal with this. Everyone else, you're going to be fed quite a lot of the remaining food, because we do now have a food supply that may sustain us, even though it might be dangerous and we don't know yet. You would have scattered at that point to your private dwelling. Essentially, it is, because it's night all the time right now, because it's been permanent night for nearly a week now. It is very hard to know when evening is. Just, I think there is a general sense of tiredness and winding down at the end of quite a long day of tunneling beneath the ice. Do the four of you have anything particular that you want to be doing?
Retreating, I think.
Yeah.
Just retreating back to my tent.
Well, your tent is
to get out of the
Your tent is a 2-story eldritch abomination, so you can go up inside your tent to your private quarters and just sit. The other members of the Arcane Brotherhood, after your speech, did scatter. Raoul will have come into your tent with you, and they will have indicated they would like to join you if you let them.
I won't be super affirmatively enthusiastic, but I also won't discourage them. So it's up to them if they want to take that as a quiet assent, which probably kind of is.
In which case, they will follow you into your private quarters, which they've been there before. It's not a problem, and close the door. Like it's a ladder, but there's a little like flap. Close the door and just be with you up there. What are you doing? Are you getting changed? Are you unwinding? What's the plan?
Probably inspecting the damage of the day. Like I was pretty wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, physically and emotionally, but particularly the giant bite the giant took out of my shoulder.
So I
mean, because I've received magical healing, so it's all like the physical effects are mostly dealt with, other than my half missing hit points.
Do you have
but
a
it's
mirror?
still almost definitely, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
As you step over to the mirror and maybe shrug off the shoulder a little and have a look, the bite is still visible. Magical healing will cure most ills, but it doesn't remove scarring. So you do have like bite mark on your neck, quite a solid, heavy bite mark there, where you can see it. Like, you also know that this bite and this attack down there knocked you unconscious in D&D terms, but felled you. Like, it was too much. You couldn't handle it on your own. So how do you feel as you're stepping over and standing in front of the mirror and looking at this?
A feeling that's kind of representative, or potentially hoping that is not representative of the sort of more strategic decisions I've been making about the camp.
Raoul is still standing by the trapdoor,
Yep.
and will, as you walk over, ooh, that looks bad.
It was not pleasant. I think that would be a fair statement.
They step over sort of behind you and will try for a hug from behind. I don't know if we haven't really role-played their relationship before, so this is like a first, see if this is okay.
I think Ashra is fine. Yeah, like it's sort of a more casual show of affection than Ashra is comfortable with herself, but that's something that there's a nebulous tension of like this is another member of the Brotherhood, but also someone I care about.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll there'll be an initial sort of slight seizing up and then relaxing and actually turning into the hug.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about it? Talk about what happened?
Which part? The mine or the goo or the situation up here? Mostly not, but
all of it. I'm here for you, whatever you need.
What would you have done?
When?
I mean, mostly here with the food supply and the potentially dangerous substance and people's lives.
Well, you tried it and you seem fine. Therefore, giving it to more people seems like the obvious way forward because we have a food shortage. And I don't know, but I think that if it was good enough for Netheril, it's good enough for us. You know?
It's lain down there for presumably thousands of years. The fact that it's still fresh in any form is remarkable, and a sign that what we're doing here has a good purpose. But we can't know that it's the same. And then some of the others who are down there seem to think that having tried it, I might be compromised in some way. I obviously disagree, but how would I tell?
Have you had any effects from it? Has it caused you pain, or do you not feel yourself?
I feel fine. Well, I mean, I feel no worse than should be expected in the circumstances.
Is that true? Because you have had strange, almost moments of, am I being controlled here? Vaguely over the last couple of hours.
If I'm still feeling like buoyed up and positive about the goo, then
at this
yes.
point you are feeling quite buoyed up and positive about it because you are not within range of the paladin that can stop enchantments.
So, as far as Ashra is concerned, it's probably fine. And
Do you say that?
yes, and what magical means I've had to test myself and the others, it seems fine.
Can I make an observation?
We're in private, in confidence. Go ahead.
You worry too much.
It's my job.
They are stroking the side of your head. Like it is affectionate, but it is also that kind of the thing where a partner will tell the other partner, like, this is your flaw. And it won't be like trying to shut you down or break you down or anything like that. More to go, I know you do this. You know you do this too. Come on, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pull away from that.
Okay.
From the stroking. And it's my job to worry, to anticipate problems and to ensure they don't eventuate in the first place.
It's your job to think of what might happen and to try and have things in place to make it happen, but it is not your job to worry. Yeah? It's your job to think ahead. They're different things. Sure, there might be something up with this. Of course there might be, but when has our organization ever worried about experimenting on stuff before just doing it, you know? This is not the first, nor will it be the last example, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Have you got any on you? I'd love to try some.
Comfortable. We'll get there in time. I wouldn't be in any rush if it's necessary. It will be necessary. We have a few days of food at most at the current rations, and
no, I'm just curious if you got any.
No sign of relief. No.
Oh, shame.
You'll get your turn.
I'm just intrigued. I want to study it. I mean, what a fascinating. Why would they have food in this sort of? What did you describe it as? Sort of black ooze? Why would they have
nutrient paste?
Oh. Do you think they were just using it as a substitute, like just for ease?
Convenience. It seems very dense and filling, and yes, I suppose if we could eliminate such a thing as the need to eat, the need for meal times.
Yeah.
I can see value in that.
I can too. I'm sure our superiors can as well.
Those of them that eat.
Yes, well. There is a chuckle and a shared laugh there, if you'll allow it a moment of like, yeah. We've got liches in charge sometimes.
Desperate laughter, yeah. Like, ha, funny thing.
Just for everyone's, the Arcane Brotherhood isn't all liches in charge, just to be clear, there are some. But, yeah. Cool. Right. What do you need?
14 hours sleep.
Do you want company?
End to all my cares. I don't know yet.
Cool. I'm going to sit over there, stay out your hair. If you want me to go, just say.
Thank you, Raoul.
Raoul will go and sit. There's a chair and some books that Raoul will tend to sit in when in this space, when not actively engaging with you, because there will be an understanding that you both are people that require space. So, yes, they will move back and sit in a little nook. What do you do?
I'm probably just going to go straight to sleep. I'd normally have some kind of routine or some approach, but at this point, I'm probably just so wiped.
As you are getting ready for bed, as you are presumably changing and getting,
possibly not even, but yeah.
Okay. Just throwing into bed,
Yeah.
fine. As you are moving towards bed and collapsing, you get a brief headache, followed by a strange, echoing, psionic feeling rippling through you. However, where at first you have a moment of pain, and then a moment of what the hell is going on, that is very quickly superseded by a feeling of calm by a feeling of warmth, of home again, that sense of... And you actually, as you sort of sit on the edge of your bed, holding your head and just take a second, look around you. This is your home away from home, and you do love it here. This is your space. And looking at Raoul over in the corner, having Raoul here is also nice. Having someone who cares for you and you can care for in your own fashion is lovely as well. Your family's here. Like, they are, skeletons and zombies, because that's what your family is.
Yep.
But it's comforting knowing they're nearby. And it's comforting knowing that you have this kind of security and stability. And Raoul's words echo through your head, this idea of you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry. Why are you worried about this gift from ancient Netheril, a culture that you respect and admire? Maybe you're being too cautious. Maybe this is something you should be giving to everyone and using the ability to feed them all so quickly and so effectively to dig deeper, to find more. And the feeling of digging deeper and finding more really settles in the center of your chest. This idea of like, tomorrow's a new day. Maybe I was being too cautious. This is a wonderful opportunity and I can't wait to take it up. As the charm starts to take further hold over you.
Hooray! Sense of calm sounds great, though. That sounds good.
Charms can be nice. Prosp'rus, Ivy, Viktor, which of you next? What are you doing as you settle out for the night? Oh, there we go.
Last I remembered, I was having rather an intense conversation with Governor.
Yes, you, Garvanor, and I think Prosp'rus and Ivy may have been there as well, I don't know, but a large number of miners are being fed a sumptuous and gigantic meal, more than they've eaten the last couple of days, in Ashra's attempt at this point in time to not dive straight into the ooze eating. So most of the camp's remaining food stores are being cooked up. The mash tent is awash with smells, laughter. There is a general low-level hubbub. A lot of the miners are... concerned is a strong word, are sort of busting at the seams a little bit. Like, they want to know what's going on. They want to understand what this ooze is. They want to talk about the bits of city that got found, and there's not a lot of information because a lot of miners haven't been down that far yet. So it is quite rambunctious, I'm going to say, in the mash tent, where you were talking to Garvanor briefly about what happens with this ooze, and then stepped back, maybe into a private space to sit, maybe to go and talk to others, whatever you like.
Yeah, Prosp'rus and Ivy, they're nearby?
Are you nearby? Were you going to go somewhere with... Sorry. Emma and I are in the same space, everyone, just to be clear. Are you nearby, Prosp'rus, or have you gone off with Kenna? I wasn't sure what you were doing.
Not... I don't think so.
Okay, so you're not there. Ivy, are you in there? Maybe with your...
Ivy's going to head out soon, but she's there for now. Yeah, with Aspen.
Okay, Ivy and Aspen are there. Cyrus is there, your friend who's a miner as well. Colbeck is in there as well, one of the Arcane Brotherhood's fixers. A couple of members of the Arcane Brotherhood are grabbing a bite to eat as well. It's generally most people in camp are around at this point.
Yeah, I think actually Victor's just gonna go back to his place. There's a lot's happened today. Mm-hmm. It's been a long day.
It has.
And I'm gonna go lie down and maybe pray for a bit.
How do you pray to Lyra? How does that function for you?
I usually sit by the fire, hold on to my ring, and just try and take a moment to be calm, think happy thoughts.
Yeah.
Hard to do in this situation. It's been hard actually for a little while now to properly pray to Lyra.
Mm-hmm.
But I do so, and I'm just say, I have no idea what's the right thing to do anymore.
Does Lyra speak back to you usually, or what's your communication with your god like?
I think she used to. Certainly back in Victor's military days, she used to, but not at least directly for a little while.
Maybe as your joy leaked out a little bit, so did she. Maybe as your joy leaked out a little bit, so did she. Gotcha.
Yeah. And now I guess he's kind of playing it by ear.
Mm-hmm.
He's found joy in a different way that's not really the way that he used to.
Cool.
But yeah, he asks questions. I assume gets no answers.
Let's hear that conversation.
You like joy. You like other people to be joyful. That's my job. That's my job, to try and help with that process. I understand. This has to be the best way to do that. It has to be. Hard to be joyful without a full stomach. I know this. Just please give me anything. Let me know that this is the right thing to do. Let me know I'm doing something right.
What did Lyra sound like when you spoke to her as a younger Tabaxi?
Thank you for asking, my DM Chris. I guess a fairly light voice, but not very wispy. Like, it's a very authoritative voice, but it's also easygoing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that wasn't the best description,
No,
but
I
I
can do
trust you. Okay.
So, give me a sign, give me something.
Yeah.
You do hear a response. Can you roll me a intelligence check, please?
Oh, delightful. Delightful. Yeah, no, I'm good at intelligence. Okay, 14.
14. With a 14, you recognize two things as this voice responds back. One, it is responding in Lyra's voice. It is definitively the voice that you heard as a younger Tabaxi. It is Lyra's voice again that you hear back. However, you also are smart enough and are worldly enough to recognize that something about it has changed. Maybe it's the tonality, maybe it's the way the conversation flows, but either Lyra has changed or this isn't Lyra, is what you get with that as this conversation continues. I agree.
Okay.
A full stomach does indeed bring joy.
Oh dear. Right. Hi. It's been some time.
It has. It has been a very long time.
I've missed you.
Viktor. You weren't feeling much joy, darling.
No.
I couldn't enter your heart if you were so lonely.
I've tried.
I know.
I have.
I know you have, and that is not a criticism, it is an observation. Nothing more. Viktor, you have an opportunity here. Take it. Roll me an insight check.
Oh.
No.
You're manipulating him and it's working.
Me?
Oh, that's a 19.
Ooh.
Intriguing. I like
Come
this.
on, Viktor. Come on, Viktor.
Oh, even with that roll.
See through your god, not God. Bad God.
Bad God.
Bad God. Viktor, you recognize that this isn't Lyra. You can choose
Okay.
what you do with that. You can choose to call the voice out. You can choose not to call it out. It's up to you.
Right. Right. So you, Lyra, you think this is the best thing to do?
I think it would prove your faith.
Bloody hell. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you. Who am I speaking to? Right, let's be out in the open here. Who is this? Because
Don't
I
understand.
haven't spoken to Lyra for nigh on 20 years now, but I will never forget what she sounded like. And I will never forget how it felt to speak with her. Who is this?
Is Lyra a person or a god? An idea? A concept? What if I speak for Lyra?
Maybe you do. But maybe you do. But I think she can speak perfectly well for herself. She's had no trouble doing it.
She has abandoned you.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
Sure.
19 again.
This voice firmly believes that your god has abandoned you. Where is she now? Where is her guidance? Where is her advice? You're all alone here, and I can help you.
Viktor tugs off his ring and just like ends the connection.
The voice keeps talking.
Oh, God.
You can't remove me so easily.
No. I haven't had that much to drink today. Out of my head, please. And what do you want?
I want you. You and all of your friends.
You've got funny taste then. What on earth do you want with me? What on earth do you want with whatever? I too miss getting sushi, my friend, but other ways to go about it. No. Why us? Why this? I just want to feed people. That's all I want.
All that I want to.
Who are you?
I am many things to many people.
Okay, what are you to me?
I am a god looking for a disciple.
Well, I'm afraid I'm fully booked up.
Are you sure? Make a wisdom saving throw.
It's what I'm good at. It's fine.
No!
You're doing so well.
Can I cast guidance on myself before I do it, or is this definitely not
That's ability checks, not saving throws, I'm afraid.
Oh, yes. Sorry, you are right.
It's all right. So...
Haha! Non-nat 20.
And
you feel a strong psionic presence grip you, and you shake it off. You've experienced creatures that screw with your mind before, and this is something that's trying to do the same. And as you do so, and as you shake it, you realize that the presence is still there, the voice is still there, but for now, it can't reach out to you in the way that it was trying to. Very well. I can wait.
Is it gone?
No.
I'm going to bed. I go into bed and try and sleep it off.
Fuck this.
Fuck this.
a very cat solution to the problem.
As you lie down and as you sort of probably quite scared, like not quite sure what to make of this presence and wondering where it's come from and what it is and what it wants and how it functions, it starts to fade a little. It starts to ebb away. It's still there. You've now recognized that something is trying to screw with your mind, and you're starting to recognize that it may have been around for quite some time now, but it is sort of sitting underneath the surface, and that sort of strength of reaching out clearly weakened it, and it is now fading back down.
Okay. I'm staying in bed, but I'd like to reach out and grab my ring from where I took it off. And
Yes.
just kind of, I'm not going to put it back on, but just keep it tight in my little paw.
Yeah.
Big paw, big cat. But yeah. I'm just going to try my very best to get to sleep, whether or not that actually ends up happening after today.
Ivy, Prosp'rus.
I'm sat at the end of the camp, the glacier end of the camp, not the cave end of the camp.
So you're looking out into the blizzard, into the perpetual night snowstorm,
Correct, yes.
with the aurora borealis curving through the night as they always do. Yeah. Is Kenna with you, or are you by yourself?
Either's fine.
Let's have Kenna with you. Okay, why are we out here? It's very cold.
Oh, well, I just thought it would be nice, you know.
Like a date?
Yeah. Well, it's all horrible back there, isn't it? There's all these people, and Ashra made them all really miserable. So
look, I don't think she purposefully made everyone miserable. I don't think that's her vibe. Okay, I don't think that's like a thing that she's doing.
No, I don't think she purposefully makes people miserable.
You think she just makes people miserable by accident?
I just know that she's, you know, she's not very good at giving speeches. Well, she's very good at giving speeches, but just not, you know, good speeches.
Are you trying to say she's not a people person?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely not a people person.
Yeah.
That is very fair. I mean, she's a dead people person. She sort of slides up next to you a little bit and sort of puts an arm around you for hopefully for warmth, but you know, just like you sort of cuddle up on the edge.
She's got a lot of plate armor. He always said it was really pretty, but you can't really see it.
Yeah, he did. I'm sure. The hug sort of edges back slightly.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Do you think it's going to stop at some point?
But the snow or the night or what?
Well, either of them, really.
Long nights. Had them all the time. There are like long periods where the sun doesn't rise. Not now. It's the wrong time of year.
Oh, weird. What about this lighty thing? I'm pointing at the aurora borealis. Sorry, that's your face.
Aurora borealis.
Yeah, that.
Oh, the lights are always in the sky. It's a 10 plus guiding us.
Oh, cool.
Apparently. You know.
Gods do sometimes guide people, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Trontia guides us
Yeah.
where to plant things.
Yep.
So that
Yep.
the crops grow better.
Should we go back inside?
No, it's nice out here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my cloak if you want it. It's very warm.
No, I'm fine.
It's got all these little embroidered C's on it so that, you know, everyone knows that.
It's got embroidered, the letter C embroidered on it repeatedly.
No, seeds.
Oh, seeds. Okay. It's like Trontea, C, like a Superman symbol all over it.
So that everyone knows that Trontea is with me.
Yeah.
You're right.
Sorry, your X and gods within 5 minutes was quite a lot.
Oh. Sorry. He's not here.
I know he's not here. It doesn't mean that... Yeah. I'm sorry, it's tough to know that if he was here, I probably wouldn't be, you know?
Well, that's not necessarily true. Also, if he was here, I wouldn't be here. Because I'm only here because he's not here. Yeah. So, logically, all of that is quite a big...
Emotionally, not practically prosperous.
Sorry. I'm not going to stop talking about him because he's dead.
No, and I don't expect you to not talk about him.
But I'm here with you because I want to be here with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, it is really pretty, despite being dark and cold and snowy.
It is.
Should we go back?
I'm going to keep sitting for a bit if that's okay. You can go if you want.
No, I'll stay. Also, you said there might be dangerous things, so you know.
Yeah. Look, I'm sorry. I can't help but compare myself to him, and that's shit because it's not fair, but we're only just...
You're very different.
Are we?
Yeah.
What? Like, I feel there's a lot of things I don't live up to.
You don't need to live up to.
Okay.
I'm not dating you because I can't date him. I'm dating you because I want to date you.
Okay. Just, big shoes to fill.
You didn't need to fill them. Also, they were smaller because he was a dwarf.
Again, emotional, not practical.
Edie was great, but he wasn't like a perfect person.
No, but... It's fine. It's fine.
Cool. We should probably rest because tomorrow we're gonna, convince everyone to go trek across the glacier to find out.
Oh, you're still going on about this.
It's gonna be so much fun.
I don't...
We're gonna get to smite so many big things. What kind of things are there on the glacier? Are they like really humongous?
Yes.
It's gonna be so much fun. How many legs do they have?
Lots.
Like more than 6?
Sometimes.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. Can you chop off their legs?
You can certainly try.
Great. I'm really looking forward to this.
I'm not.
You could just tell me where it is and I can go. You don't have to come.
You would have no way of finding it.
That is probably true.
It's a secret for a reason.
Oh. Okay.
It's okay. There are all sorts of things about taking people there, but fuck my fucking traditions. That's bullshit anyway. I'll take you. If you want to go. But I strongly suggest us taking more people than just you and me.
Oh, yeah, I'm hoping to persuade a few more people because, I've met more people who really like dangerous things.
Great. Did you head back inside?
Yeah.
Great. The two of you eventually go back inside and you press the long rest button now. Ivy.
I already did it. Please don't make anyone fight me.
Ivy. I think once has scoffed a lot of food. Will
Aspen's chowing down as well.
We'll turn to Aspen and say, I have an idea of someone to talk to maybe try and fix the slightly reckless, maybe, things.
Okay, so you've already told, looks around, there are loads of people around you, so you've already shown people what you can do, and you've already mentioned it in ways we said we wouldn't mention. Now you want to talk about it to more people? Is that what you're saying?
Less of the tone.
God, finally. Like, you...
Yeah, sure, physical combat. That is the way you will win an argument.
I am no slouch, and you know it.
Yeah, no slouch versus I could literally kill you, and I will, child. Listen to me.
Could have tried.
Yeah, sure, sweetheart. Stick to the chess. Okay, this is lovely, not productive. I think that obviously I'm not going to go suddenly run, climb a flagpole and shout from the top all the facts that may or may not be true about us.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe go find someone in a bit of authority who seems to be agreeing with me on most of the things and persuade them to not run their mouth off.
You want to go shake someone down?
No, I want to go make an ally.
Okay, the way you said it sounded like you wanted to shake someone down.
It's me. I have a lot of unlearning to do.
Do you want me to come with you and help if you do need someone to be a bit less of a fist?
As always, your tact and just compliments are really appreciated.
It's not like you're not a good fist.
You know it. I genuinely really appreciate the offer, sweetheart. I think that would be helpful. But right now, my priority is, if I have screwed this up for me, to make you as unnoticeable as is humanly possible. So,
Okay.
carry on being, pretending to be fabulously uninteresting. And
Oh yeah. No
you're
problem.
doing so well at the moment. And I'll let you know how it goes. I'll see you in like half an hour.
Okay. I'll just be here with the others.
Okay. And I am sorry, I got a bit stressed, and you know what my reflex reactions are. So,
Hardly like the situation's not stressful, and also everyone here is kind of stressed too. And looking around the bar, people are chatting, and there's sort of like a bit of people are full for the first time in bloody ages, but quite a few people look a little bit grumpy. There's a hubbub of like, oh, the wizard's going to tell us what to do. There's a bit of that going on. Also, Ivy, as you're looking around the mash tent, maybe an insight check, please.
17 plus blah blah. Ooh, 23.
Okay. As you get up to get out of the mash tent to go and speak to someone, you note that around the mash tent, all at the same time, roughly 15-ish of the miners start to stumble. Like, there's just a slow, like, all of them sort of hold head in hands for a sec, stumble. There's the occasional sort of moment from a lot of people, and you notice it because you roll such a high insight check, that suddenly around this bar, quite a few people are suddenly momentarily look a little bit concerned and a bit worried. And then it fades, and they all actually, where some of them were a bit grumpy and a bit worried, calm down into a much happier place. And all of these people just seem to sink into a place of more relaxedness. It's a very odd moment where you suddenly realize one of these is different from the others. And looking around, 15 of them, not quite that many, 13 of them, are different from the others.
Cool.
You're also relatively smart, so roll me an intelligence check. History check if you want to use that.
Am I clever though?
I don't know.
According to the dice, yes. History, I feel, is going to be a 0. It is. So straight 15.
15. Looking at, you realize what connects these dots. It's all the miners that were down in the city.
Yeah. Ivy's going to get to the door, see this, check herself, go back to Aspen and go, change plan. It's bedtime.
What
For
happened?
you. Come on. Let's walk and talk.
Fine. Gets up, comes with you. You know, one of
Okay,
these
so-
days you're going to make a decision and stick to it.
Cool. Thanks. Or it's just called being, observant and doing
happened?
things. Something just like a switch just like flicked in everyone who's had the goo.
This is as you're stepping out of the mash tent, yes?
But I'll make sure that we're past them
Fine.
before saying that.
You're outside as you say that, that's fine.
So yeah, everyone looked in pain and then really happy and chill. And like, happy and chill is fine, but that means something's going on, and I'm not leaving you in a tent with a bunch of maybe possessed, maybe
What is
minors.
your passive perception?
It was pretty low. I remember something like, why am I guessing? Why should I not just find my thing? Passive, 13.
Cool, never mind.
So can you it's probably fine. I just don't want you to be surrounded by a bunch of people and we don't know what's going on. So I'm going to go find Milk. Do you want to come and be completely oblivious to all the grown-up conversation, or do you want to head back to the tent and get some sleep?
I'll head back to the tent.
Okay.
I'll leave you two to it, because I don't. You're right. If necessary, me not being involved is probably a good idea in it. So I'll head back to the
If
tent.
anything weird happens, even if it seems like nothing, come find me. Don't brave it out.
Sure.
Promise.
Yeah, promise. If something weird happens, I will run away and find you.
Thanks.
Love you.
You too.
And your sister goes back into one of the big sort of marquee-style tents where everyone sleeps, apart from those that have their own. Milk's tent is very obvious because it is unlike all the others, and it is very smoke sort of billowing out from it to a certain extent. Red, do you want to describe your tent again? It's got a very different theme to everyone else's.
Sort of slightly nomadic, with a desert vibe. There's some rugs of various kinds kind of strewn over the thing, and definitely fragrant, I guess. Right, it doesn't look like it's on fire in terms of smoke, but it's sort of perhaps some chimey kind of noises. It's very.
You've got wind chimes.
Well, possibly. Yeah, why not? Absolutely. Snow wind chimes.
Ivy, do you head over?
Yeah, we'll head over and do whatever the equivalent of knocking on the tent is.
How does your tent work? Because as we've established, Ashra's tent has the ability to be knocked on and be leant on. Is yours similar? How does it work?
No, so there's a series of ropes outside, each one offering a different instrument for a kind of bell. Sort of.
What are the options?
I don't know. You'd have to pull one and see what happens.
Ivy will look bewildered and then pick the middle one.
So the middle one is a nice red cord, and as you put it, it's just a low kind of tubular bell sound from somewhere just once. And the sort of sheets of the curtain are sort of drawn back, and Milk is on the floor with Malinois on his shoulder, sort of, I guess, just coming back from wherever it was that he was before.
Yep. Those timelines match up. Ivy?
Oh, hello. It's the miner.
I have a name. Am I intruding?
Not at all, darling. Come on in.
As you step inside, Ivy, you do notice it's bigger on the inside than on the outside.
Of course. You have a bed. Looks nice.
It's true. I sleep terribly on those things. Yes, it's for my spine. Obviously, it's not a status thing. So some tea for you, perhaps.
Does it have any black goo out of the ground from millennia ago?
Absolutely not.
Great, then yes, please.
Great. He will move to some kind of sideboard and like berries or twigs or what do you nettles? I believe I have some dried nettles from when we were passing further south. Or
like edible berries.
Good choice.
Berries.
He will make you a cup of tea and then come. So how may I help you, Ivy?
I feel like neither of us are particularly interested in pretending. So to cut to the chase, I was wondering about a trade.
Interesting. What is it you'd like?
Well, if we start with what I can do for you, you and I seem to be very much in agreement that eating something magical and untested out of the ground is incredibly stupid. Whereas the rest of our companions seem to have decided that it's a really healthy, happy, great way to kill yourself. So...
Sorry, just to be clear, Prosp'rus was not on board with it. Prosp'rus just didn't want people to kill themselves getting to it.
Fab, Ivy doesn't know that. Ivy thinks that Prosp'rus has totally abandoned their side, has gone utterly loopy. So, it's just us now. And you are a little avant-garde, maybe, for some of the miners. You have a very fabulous dress sense and tent, and completely, none of us know why you're here, and you have a pet octopus. Like, I wondered if you might need someone on your side who is a little more reasonable.
You're suggesting that I am in some way unreasonable.
Yes, you've got it. Good.
And that just the sound of a teaspoon hitting the side of a cup. Well, I don't know that allegiances are important at this point. I mean, I completely share your concern about the ooze brought up from the ground. I would repeat my suggestion that you stay very, very far away from it, and indeed anyone you care about. I suppose my question, Ivy, would be, what is it that we want out of this situation? Things here are very much likely to escalate, I believe, at quite a pace.
I mean, I would like people not to die, preferably, including me, my sister, but, like, ideally, everyone else around.
Sure. I mean, that is on my list. It might not
How
be
high
at
up?
the top. Well, I can see it from here. I can definitely see it. But danger is a part and parcel of what I do for a living, Ivy.
What do you do for a living, Milk?
You're looking at it. Whatever is
Thank
needed
you.
in the circumstances. Yes.
That's not an answer, Milk. What is actually like your job here?
My job here is to find things out. That is what I am known for.
Right. Okay, that was easy, wasn't it?
Yes. And what is your job here?
I'm a miner. I hit rocks with sharp things.
And when it's not so much rocks, but other people, monsters, etc.
Well, this was sort of what I was hoping you could do for me, which is everyone was very stressed and very overexcited and may have taken their surprise that, my loving parents put me in, fight training when I was younger to like use up some of that pent up energy. And they may have taken that surprise and the dark and the fear and started some fairly wild imaginings about my abilities. It would be really helpful if they didn't carry on with those wild imaginings because, fear and hyperbole is of no use to anyone right now. So if you could...
you want me to help you with your deception of the other people? You should have just said, darling, of course. We all have secrets. Don't worry about it. I mean, I was quite impressed by your skill set. I think I see the mark of some training there, perhaps beyond what you're describing, but none of my business, frankly. We all have our tales to tell.
That is a relief. Okay, then. I will stop being coy. Yes, I don't want anyone to know about why I'm here. I want my sister to be safe. The more questions are asked, the less safe she is. I will do for you in return quite a lot of things as long as you help me with her safety.
Good to know. I suppose, do you consider yourself under immediate threat here?
No. I feel we have come a very, very, very long way. And as far as I know, no one trekked us beyond the first little bit.
Is what haunts you from your past some way involved with the Arcane Brotherhood?
Only very loosely. As far as I believe, in the same way that all powerful people know each other, but beyond that, I don't think so.
Okay, then it might not be an issue, but if you're concerned, there is the question of your rather wonderful utility in difficult situations has somewhat brought you to the attention, I'm sure, of not just myself.
No, but you see, Miss Beckett maybe needs her sleep right now. And Prosp'rus and Viktor have their interesting allegiances to higher moral powers, whereas you don't have that problem. You seem a sensible choice.
You're right. I am not similarly restricted in those ways. Absolutely. I'm glad you came to see me, Ivy. Consider me your chum.
Good. Thank you for the tea. It is pleasant.
As is your company.
Insight check.
That's the insight check. Was I pleasant company? You rolling for it?
Oh, I actually can. Okay, yes, please. 17.
Yeah, he wasn't lying.
Yes. Nice. Okay.
He thinks you're interesting, right? Like you don't make sense and you've got stuff going on. That's kind of his bag.
But yes, I am aware that you and Ms. Beckett have an interesting relationship in terms of authority and different ideas. I just thought maybe you are the one who has demonstrated the fact that you can be trusted in a fight. So if I have to choose, you've got my vote.
Good to know. Let's hope it doesn't come to any direct conflict. I'm sure everyone would like to get out of here with their lives, yourself included.
Absolutely.
But I am worried about the ooze is an issue. So I think the thing to be aware of, Ivy, is that things are likely to spin out of control, I think, quite fast. If there is indeed under the ice what I suspect is under the ice, we might be in quite a lot of trouble here. Stay on your toes.
What do you suspect is under the ice?
How familiar are you with gods in the sort of very much corporeal, extant living capacity?
Aren't they all just more trouble than they're worth?
Absolutely, and this one quite particularly. If you're not overly willing to meet your personal oblivion anytime soon, I'd suggest stay away from the ooze.
Noted. Oh, it might interest you. As I was heading over here, every single person who had the ooze had a moment. It looked like sudden pain, like headache, and then super happy.
How long ago was this?
About a minute before I came in.
Would you mind if I swore?
That is also when you got the devour in your head.
Yeah. Would you mind if I swear?
Of me? Go for it.
Fuck! Let's go and see Miss Beckett immediately. If not,
Would you like company?
The problem is that Miss Beckett has already consumed the substance, and I think I just met its daddy, and I'm a little bit worried about what might happen next. Is there anyone left who hasn't? We might have to go see Prosp'rus. I think that is
Prosp'rus.
probably... Yes.
Prosp'rus said that he had the that if you stood near him, you'd be all right. So Prosp'rus would be a good person to go get.
An excellent thing to remember. Come, Ivy, let us go knock up Prosp'rus.
Phrasing.
Knock on the door of,
I presume that you and Kenna went back to your tent.
Probably just conveniently walking back right now.
Oh, how convenient! All of these paths interlock as the two of you step out of Milk's tent, which is quite close because all of the separate one person or two person tents, the smaller tents, are all in a separate part of the camp. So it's all quite close. So as you step out, Prosp'rus and Kenna are walking back to Prosp'rus's tent.
Great, I will try and flag them down. Oh, that hand's a bit high.
You flagged?
Prosp'rus?
Oh.
Could we possibly interrupt? Hi. Good evening. Sorry to bother you. Could we have a word?
You're already speaking.
Do you want me to go inside the tent and not listen?
Up to Prosp'rus. I'd rather have privacy, but I don't want to pass aspersions on your friends.
It's fine, I guess, Kenna, if that's okay with you. Or you could go get more food, I guess.
I'll go see if there's anything left in the mash tent and bring it back. Okay. Lovely to see you all. Walks off.
Ivy here has just brought to my attention that the people who have been working down in the mines who may have consumed the goo seem a little bit, perhaps, unwell. And
weird, like I said.
Yes, absolutely. I suspect that our suspicions are correct, that consumption of the substance is not without consequence.
Right.
That obviously includes Miss Beckett and quite a large number of the miners at the camp. I cannot speak. And indeed, Viktor, who seemed most enthusiastic.
He ate a lot. He should possibly see Prosp'rus as well.
Yes.
Who first?
I think the important question is, what do we do with them?
Well, I can't stand near all of them forever.
I mean, chain of command. So start with Miss Beckett, then Viktor, and then see what they have to say about it.
Let's go see Miss Beckett first, I guess.
Okay.
This would all have been so much easier if everyone had listened to us.
I could have that tattooed on my chest, Ivy, believe you me.
I mean, to be fair, we were about to tell her not to touch it when we got there. She was already touching it, so,
Yes. Scientific eagerness, it has overcome the best of us, I'm sure, but might all get us killed in this case. So,
right.
Are the three of you heading inside Ashra's tent?
Well, I guess we knock first.
Or to the door.
If you knock on the tent flap, there's no reply.
Just go in.
She's not there.
Got it upstairs, right?
She's upstairs.
More of this tent?
There is an upstairs. You are all aware there is an upstairs. None of you have been up there, and none of you have been invited up there except for potentially Milk.
Milk, go for it.
More of this tent.
Is there a ladder or anything? Or
Yeah,
is
it's a ladder.
Just, then I will very loudly cough.
Ashra, roll me a Constitution save.
Is Ashra within
10 feet, innit?
I need to check, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
It's crucial. I will wait before I roll my presumably terrible check.
Oh.
Is it possible to assist in any way by going, yes, up the ladder?
Yes. Is Ashra within 10 feet of me?
No.
Upstairs?
No.
How tall is this tent?
I'd say about 5 foot up, but also it's a big tent. And it's bigger on the inside, as previously discussed.
I will make a Constitution saving throw.
Thank you.
Hey, it's good. Yeah. 19.
Oh, you wake up. You hear a loud cough and...
Oh, that was just to wake up. I thought that was some horrible physical effect.
No.
Right, yeah.
No, you wake up. Raoul is sort of looking up from the nook and looking at you and looks down and... I think you've got company, but I can tell him to go away if you want.
Find out who it is. If it's... Well, find out who it is.
Raoul steps over
put
the
myself
trapdoor,
together.
opens it, and
smooth my clothes down a bit.
walks down the ladder. Raoul, one of the members of the Arcane Brotherhood, walks down the ladder, turns to look at the three of you. Sorry, Miss Beckett's not seeing anyone right now. What's the problem?
Fortunately, Raoul, the situation is urgent and I will need to speak to Miss Beckett. If you could, please go upstairs and bring her back down.
Roll a persuasion check.
Can I give advantage?
Yes, you can give advantage. You want to say something?
It's really quite urgent.
16.
Let me check. Turns around, heads back upstairs. It's Milk and Prosp'rus, the paladin, and one of the miners.
Okay, yes. And I will head down.
Do you want me to come with?
Yes, it's probably best you hear this as well.
All right. Ashra steps down after a minute or two, steps down the ladder and is at the bottom, and Raoul joins. Ashra, as you step down the ladder and within 10 feet of Prosp'rus, there is no obvious change, again, because that's not how this works. But during this conversation, that feeling of calm, that feeling of I don't need to worry about things, that feeling of, oh, I've got good plans for tomorrow, is no longer there. It's ebbed away. And you are smart enough to notice that there is a difference. But it's up to you how much you want to play.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Let's make a roll for myself just to see. There we go. Okay.
So
I probably have like deep bags into my eyes. I'm like, I was sleeping in my clothes. I've done my best in the minute or so I had to unrumple myself, but
you had barely been lying down for 5
as
10
together
minutes.
as usual.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I probably slept those 5 minutes and did not wake happily.
Oh dear. Oh. So the 5 of you, not including Viktor, including Raoul, are stood in the bottom of Ashra's tent as Ashra joins the group, and Raoul sort of stands behind, backing up.
So sorry to have intruded upon you at this late hour.
It's good news, I assume.
Did you have a headache about 15 minutes ago?
You did?
Yes.
There we go. Milk?
So it seems that I may have made contact with Daddy under the ice, the malevolent force that I suspect is dwelling down there, at precisely the same time that you and quite a number of the other members of the camp who had also been down there had similar experiences.
What did it say?
Wonderful.
I suspect you may have been compromised.
Red, do you want to say what it said?
Sorry, what did it say?
It spoke a word. The word was devour. Now, it didn't come with any particularly malevolent force, but it was hard for me to get a grip on it.
You mean like the Devourer from the folktales that I mentioned earlier this evening?
Yes, I mean, I definitely saw the link. Yes.
Even if it's said with no malicious intent, devour is not exactly a positive word most of the time.
Quite right.
It's pancakes. Sorry, I'm just pancakes.
Right. Well, it's a strong case not for not giving anyone else the goo and doing what we can to contain those who've had it, but
I'm here in case you're being mind controlled.
Just out of game, we're aware that that's what you can do, right?
I've said so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, thank God for you, Prosp'rus. Do you feel different, Ash, when you're standing next to Prosp'rus?
I feel significantly more concerned.
Interesting.
That effect on people.
It's not usually the effect I have on people.
Oh, yes, no. I wouldn't exactly. It's an odd thing to feel thankful for. But I can see the difference. I can feel the difference.
So, unfortunately, you did just give an order that we use up all our leftover food, and then start eating the goo. So we're now going to run out of food even faster.
I don't think that's strictly I don't think that was motivated by being compromised. I think it's still the best we could have done in the circumstances, because the only way we can stop people if they decide en masse to enter the mines and take the goo for themselves from doing so is a level of force beyond which I care to use. It does, however, go on, Prosp'rus.
I still don't think we should kill people rather than let them eat it if they insist.
I mean, I can see the point. If you're dead, you're dead. The outcome of this is as yet unknown.
It may be reversible. It may be temporary. I'm not wholly confident of this, given the tone it sounds.
I mean, people have killed gods before. The Netherese are a great example of people who've killed gods before.
And that went so well, from what I remember of the stories you told me.
There is something fitting in their foodstuff being used as a vector for some other god. If indeed it is another god.
By fitting, do you mean utterly creepy and terrifying?
It could be something masquerading as
that's not prejudge, but...
you are all of you aware that Viktor also ate some of this and is not here. Just FYI.
That's
right.
Does anyone have any way of contacting Viktor without us sending someone to him? Or
I'll go get him. It's fine. It's like over there.
It is. It's like over there.
And you don't need me. What do I have to contribute?
I mean, that act's not...
Did you say that?
Yes. Yes, as she's walking out the door. As she's walking out.
Ivy, you can find Viktor's tent. And again, Viktor's tent is a tent. There's nothing magical about this tent. It's just a really big tent. And if you, try and call out, maybe, I don't know, would you just head inside?
I mean, it's Viktor. And he's probably sleeping quite heavily. So I think I will stick my head in and go, Viktor!
Viktor, roll me a con saving throw.
Viktor jumps awake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ex-soldier, that tracks.
Might be a bit strange.
Yeah. So, Viktor, you're up immediately. Ivy's head is popping into your tent.
Hi, Viktor. Weird question. Did you have a weird kind of headache or something going on in your head about maybe 20 minutes ago?
Yes. That's the easiest way to describe it. Yes.
Cool. Things are bad. You should come and stand in Prosp'rus's awesome radius of happiness, and it might help with things. Maybe.
Right. Lead the way.
You still have that low level. You're still aware of it.
Ivy, have you ever had a god or a deity that you've devoted yourself to?
No.
No?
No. Sorry, I wish I could be more help with that, but no, didn't really have time.
Of course. No. Pardon me.
All the mining. No, sorry. Not it's a bad thing. It seems lovely and reassuring and a really lovely thing. It wasn't encouraged growing up.
It used to be, yes. No, maybe you're lucky in that sense.
I had a super healthy education. You're really jumpy. What's going on?
I am willing to eat humble pie and say I've made perhaps a bad mistake while in the pursuit of doing something good, which is not a new thing for me, and I want to fix it. And
you mean in trying to feed everyone, you ate a bunch of really bad stuff?
Well, trying to feed people, yes, and the stuff was bad.
You say potato, I say ooze.
Okay.
Prosp'rus. You say Prosp'rus, then
yeah. But everyone else had a little bit of a headache and then was really chill. You do not seem particularly full of the joys of spring. Are you okay?
Can I still hear that voice?
No, the voice has ebbed away. You still have a sense of presence, but the voice is not there at the moment.
Nothing. No, just the headache.
I would like to make another insight check. This one is maybe slightly more important than does milk like me. That
Is
would
milk my
be
body?
a dirty 20.
Ooh,
You
yeah.
can roll a deception check if you like. Bo, it's up to you.
I'll give it a go.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I may as well say I tried. 16.
16. Yep.
He's pretty high, but
Some things up.
Good roll.
Ivy.
Cool. Yeah. Headache. Totally. I believe you. Let's go find Prosp'rus.
Good plan. Good plan.
Mm.
Was I able to get any rest at all, by the way?
No.
While I was...
No.
Okay, excellent.
I really
Great,
want
well-
some sleep. I so want to go to sleep. And you've all been idiots, so I can't sleep.
Ivy, Victor, you head back, and where the other three are still chatting. Four, Raoul is there, but Raoul has not said anything. Ash, Raoul is edging closer to, like, supporting you physically. Again, realizes there's a boundary here, but is also, like, worried about you because of this.
okay.
It's up to you
How
how you handle
subtly
it.
can I discourage this? I think I'm just sort of trying to like project with body language that not in front of the. No.
Can you roll me a performance?
Yeah, that's a good
check?
performance. Yeah, that seems about right.
Can we roll against that?
Of course.
Oh, 21. How's that? Everything's coming up, wizard.
I'm convinced, or I don't see anything.
I'm also convinced, but I'm also leaning on your desk as if I belong here and this is my desk.
Paladins.
In the circumstances, I would
Cowardly.
complain, but in the circumstances, I will not.
I might also read some of your documents.
That those, I'll just scoop them closer. If I catch you reading. Are you trying to be remotely subtle, or are you
No,
just like?
I'm bored and I'm just like picking things up. You know,
I'll
like
probably just like mid sentence, just like collect them from your hand and just like, no, I won't break flow, but yeah, no.
if
Lovely.
you take documents away, I start like picking up knickknacks and just like inspecting things. I don't think I've ever spent this long in your tent. I'm just like looking at things.
Okay, Chris.
Yep.
Oh, it won't last long enough for it to be. I was going to say, can I prestidigitate like a fidget toy? I might have to keep casting prestidigitation to keep it active, but I'll make like a little like an executive clicker toy type thing. We have little clicky buttons or like a little cube that you can squeeze like things on, and I'll just hand that to Prosp'rus. Again, trying not to stop talking like from whatever conversation's going on.
George, do you
Yes.
hand Prosp'rus a fidget spinner?
Fidget spinner specifically, yeah, fine, we'll go with it.
Grand. Find some sponsors. So yeah, you hand over a fidget spinner to Prosp'rus. Do you play with a fidget spinner?
Yeah, for like 1 second, then I like keep looking at other things. Like this is kind of like I'm trying to get a sense of you as a person. Like I'm not looking deeply at anything, but I'm just like looking at everything.
Is there something you need?
No, I'm just well, I've never been in here this long before. It's all really interesting. What does this do? It's an ink pot.
It's
It's a doorway to another dimension. Careful.
I open it.
Don't. We only have so much ink here.
You have a squid. Sorry, I'm not there.
The two of you, either Victor, you re-enter and puncture this pointless conversation.
Victor was said he's just had a headache, but is clearly lying. Something's going on. Prosp'rus, go stand near him for a bit, please.
Victor, as you enter the tent and stand within 10 feet of Prosp'rus, if you move that close, the low-level thrum, that feeling of that wave of energy, fades.
Thanks.
This is going to become a problem because, again, there's only so many people who can stand within 10 feet of me.
You not
Yes,
wipe it out completely. It's just they get poorly as soon as they leave again.
I don't know. Ashra,
Seems so.
go stand over there.
I'd rather not. Based on previous observation, it would seem that is the case. And as you say, this is not sustainable. We need some plan that will figure out a way to, figure out whether this is reversible and whether it needs to be, or whether it's just temporary and will burn out by itself.
I mean, I stand by my original suggestion. Kenna has eaten it before and is perfectly fine. And we can get there within 2 days if we're fast. And we're awesome fighters, most of us.
Point and stare at Miss Beckett.
I'm just gonna just carry on focusing on the conversation. Try and play it off. I am coming round to this idea. My main objection is that things out here may get out of control, but I feel that's going to happen now one way or the other. It may be best to, if not cut our losses, then take a calculated risk.
I mean, if they're going to eat it anyway, we might as well try and find a solution. You've two have already eaten it, so we need a solution for you. We can't just leave you.
Yes, and given we still don't have an incoming food supply, it may be if we can make this safe, we can use it to outlast whatever the wider situation is here.
Just to maybe put a dampen on all these lovely, exciting adventures across Murder Glacier. If it is safe enough to go out in the snowstorm to trek across a glacier, is it not also safe enough with a much more known positive ending to trek across through the snowstorm, the much safer road to 10 Towns, to get people to real food and more medics and warm beds?
10 Towns is a couple of days away. Again, if you were taking lots of people who move slowly, more like a week.
It's the same distance, same weather.
That you've been.
We've sent people this way.
Yes,
we have data that suggests that route specifically is unsafe. We do not know about this other way. And when we get to 10 Towns, then what? We have to secure food and an incoming food supply and ensure that it gets here and can keep people alive. And even then, we will not gain any more information on how to reverse the effects of this substance.
Of course, and while things are, difficult at the moment, we are here, after all, to investigate what's under the glacier, and a little bit of trouble need not dissuade us entirely. Well, I can sense the enthusiasm for exploration in the room, but...
I want to know what's down there, but we can't run an operation on this goo.
Does it not seem, though, that we are forced to run it on the goo, whatever people are doing with their time? Is that not the conclusion we had reached?
We don't know what the effect is, but if it does have some strange warping effect on people, then I'm loath to put them to the task of excavating further where they might find other more interesting discoveries that could be damaged or could perhaps be misused by people affected in this way.
Or equally, there might be a source of food down there that's not contaminated, or indeed the solution to our problems might well lie within the Netherine who created this situation in the first place.
Or the source that Kenna was speaking about might not be contaminated. They have eaten it and been fine. We don't know.
Also true.
Both.
So is this what we think? We think the food in itself is good, but this creepy goo daddy, as Milk so beautifully put it, has infected this particular bit.
That was Milinoe's interpretation, was that the stuff itself seems genuinely nutritious, but that there is some kind of presence inhabiting it.
Kenna's people eat it when they
and now inhabiting those who have consumed it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, Kenna said that they eat it when they run out of food and tied them over. And
it doesn't make them.
They said sometimes they get a bit funny for a few days, but then they're absolutely fine.
Another.
Did it
ever... Sorry. Please.
Did it ever talk to them?
We would have to ask her. She didn't mention specifically being spoken to. That's kind of why I wanted to go talk to the priest to find out a little bit more.
What did it say to you, Viktor?
Well, it did a rather piss-poor impression of a god who I haven't heard of in 20 years, and it said it wants us.
That's quite concerning.
Wants? What did you say? Sorry.
He said that's quite concerning.
No, wants ass, not wants ass.
Wants us, done it.
I'm going to finish that.
Wow.
It mimicked your god. That's That's a bit.
Not very well.
It's quite smart.
Yes, very clever.
I think we have at least the beginnings of a plan then. If we haven't determined whether it's best to let the miners keep digging, perhaps it would be, if nothing else, to ensure that there is something to occupy everyone here while we are potentially gone. And as you say, Milk, best case, we dig ourselves out of trouble. Worst case, we find something worse that, well, will account for that if it happens. We can take what food supplies remain with us to try and cross this location that Ken has mentioned. Are there further supplies of this substance there? Is that what you said?
I can make some before we go.
Also true. But of the goo specifically, is there?
She said they had a source.
If it's uncontaminated, we could bring some back, establish a sort of short-term caravan of our own.
Oh, yeah. About that. Maybe keep an eye on your man Gardner.
Why is that?
He expressed to me great interest in his own independent business.
I would look at Ash and raise an eyebrow.
He's been an exceptional quartermaster, but it appears he's... Yes.
Ash.
Smart, really.
Ash, just to be clear, Garvanor's a very good quartermaster because Garvanor also organises food and shelter for a bunch of people, and you don't have to ask questions about it.
Fair enough. Well... Any comments, objections, seeing as this is the inner circle now, it seems?
If, Ashra, if you and me are already contaminated, then perhaps we can continue to eat it. And I can't believe I'm saying this, maybe not a good idea for other people to eat the black goo we found in the mines.
Better late than never, I suppose, Viktor, but good. I think it's vital, Ash, that the mining continues. We must know what's down there.
We might have to kill it.
Don't look so excited.
It's what I do best.
When we say vital, this is something I'm finding a little concerning. Our number one priority is people not dying, right? If that comes to a choice between you finding a little ancient magic toy or like saving the lives of every single person in this camp, we are all on the same side of which we'd choose, right?
I think it's very important
Yes.
we don't arrive at such a choice.
Miss Beckett, you said yes?
Yes.
Well, you're in
It's-
charge, so I'll take it.
Very well. The main argument I can see in favour of continuing the excavations is to safeguard people. It's an outside chance, but I consider it. We play to the odds.
Yeah, boredom is not
We
good
play
for
to
them.
our outs.
But also, Melkai, not arriving at such a choice sounds like a great plan.
It's always preferable.
So you're all in... This isn't Mal talking, this is me talking. So you're all in agreement. You, as a group of 5, you're going to presumably rest and then in the morning start putting together the group to head out.
We need to rest because I pressed the rest button.
Oh, where did you rest? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Before we go on our break, a very practical question. How are you going to rest considering that 2 of you probably don't want to step out of 10 feet from Prosp'rus?
Oh, this is a good point.
Can we just kip him?
Your tent is quite large, Ashra. I could just get Kenna to bring my bedroll in here and sleep in here, if you want.
I just have like an expression of utter resignment.
Oh, I'm going to get my sister because otherwise she'll worry and we'll both come because it is much warmer and much more comfy in here. Great. She's going to come with us. I'm not leaving her. And I head out to get out. Just not waiting for permission.
Terribly
I just go.
forthright.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were just discussing sleep. So Ivy's gone to get Aspen. What about Red and Viktor? Sorry, what about Milk and Viktor? What are you two doing?
I will change into my bathrobe and a martini and sidle out and go, I'm going to my tent. I will see you all in the morning. Try not to cause any more havoc.
Could Milk, could you fetch Kenna and my stuff? Because I can't leave.
Absolutely, sure. And I will step out of the tent and look for somebody to relay those instructions to, because
I will send someone. I'm sending the skeleton
Fine,
with a
that
note.
all- Yes, the
Milk
mechanics of
shouldn't
this are
have
all
to do these
sorted,
things.
it's fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
no. But yeah, just for this aesthetically, Milk shouldn't have to do these things.
Victor, what about you?
First of all, I'd like to go find Cyrus and check in on him.
If you leave the 10-foot radius of Prosp'rus, the effect will come back. At least you're pretty sure it will.
I'll take it.
You just walk out. Let's all be safe and stick together. Victor walks out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Sorry,
go find...
I've got priority.
Okay, so if you walk out, we'll come back to that. If you're not going to rest with all of them immediately, we'll come back to that, so we can do that after the break, because we are very close to break time. Okay, so Victor's heading out. Everyone else, Ivy's bringing Aspen back, and you'll all be long resting together. And Milk is heading to his own tent. Lovely. Well, as you all start to bed down for your long rest, that's where we'll pick up after the break. Thank you, everyone. We will join you again in 5-10 minutes or so. Bye. And we're back. Hello, welcome back, everybody, for the second half of episode 4 of Icewind Dale Corrupted. So, most of you are having a sleepover in Ashra's tent, which she is fine with, by the way.
She seemed fine.
She seemed fine, yeah. Ivy, you went to get Aspen, your sister, and you have now returned to to Ashra's tent.
It's so warm and fluffy.
It's lovely. So you're settling in, and Prosp'rus, your stuff is being brought.
Well, I can't leave, so I'm just going to touch everything in here in the meantime.
Ashra, how does that make you feel?
Are there drawers?
Oh, so we moved to the upstairs part of the tent where it's more comfortable, which I think I've mentioned it in a previous session, but just to reiterate, it is surprisingly fluffy.
Oh, the cushions. I'm going to
there's a lot of cushions.
I didn't think you'd let us upstairs. This is amazing.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be downstairs.
I don't know why it feels safer, but it does.
Raoul is just standing in the corner of the room by their nook, just like, this is my nook. Like, there's a certain amount of I also sleep here, and this is my nook. Kind of like.
There's a moment after. It's a moment shortly after you've all been admitted upstairs, where it's just like, oh, this was a mistake, wasn't it? But it's too late to turn back now.
Cool. As you're all settling in, Viktor, you were going to go and find Cyrus before joining everyone.
I was, yes.
As you step out of Prosp'rus's radius again, that strange sort of psionic undercurrent comes back. Again, no voice again yet, but psionic undercurrent definitely.
Okay, I just soldier on through and I look for Cyrus. I'm going to go look in his tent. I assume it's getting late, probably.
Yeah, people are starting to leave the mash tent as you step out. People are starting to go to their places to rest. You do see Cyrus stepping out of the mash tent and sees you and waves.
Great. I jog on over to him like, hey, fancy sleepover?
Asleep? What?
Everything good. Come with sleepover. Let's go. Been a while, right?
What? Okay.
Wow.
Comes with you.
Great.
And the two of you will head up to Ashra's and just walk in up the stepladder, like no fucks given, just head straight in.
Yeah.
Cool. Viktor appears with a random dwarf that you know is Viktor's buddy, who you also know ate some of the stuff.
You know what? Fine.
Do you have any bookshelves?
Oh, definitely.
Do you have any books in Orcish?
I don't think... Oh, I do speak Orcish, so I'm going to say yes.
I'm probably having a look just to see if you do.
Yeah, I don't know what they'd be about. That's a good question.
Orcs can be wizards as much as anyone else.
No, I know. Yeah, I'm just like, why would I specifically have an Orcish text, even in wizardry one? But sure,
there's
probably
there's probably orc specialists in some schools of magic that wrote their books in Orcish, partially as a fuck you to the system where orcs don't tend to write books in Orcish.
Yeah.
And also probably with a certain amount of pride that they have discovered or unearthed something and therefore wanted to record it in their own language. Cool. Let's say there's a book written by an Orcish wizard specifically about transmutation, about transmutative properties of items, so turning things into other things.
I really pick it up, start reading it, pretend that I understand it. Put it back.
I will say that Orcish probably doesn't have a lot of words for the words that they're trying to write in, so there's a lot of writing around things.
To be clear, I understand the language.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't understand the transmutation.
I understand this. Oh, no, I don't. Yes.
Victor,
please be careful with that.
Victor, what are you doing? Because Cyrus is standing in the doorway, at the top of the step ladder, just a little bit confused, looking around like...
Come on. Ashra, do you have a backgammon board anywhere?
No, I don't have a backgammon board anywhere. Do you not have one?
We have a chess set.
What do you do?
We also have a chess set. You hear from the corner from Raoul.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, come on, chess. It's been a while. Let's do chess. You're doing okay, right? Great. Everything's cool.
Everyone starts playing various games of chess. Ivy, what are you and Aspen doing?
I quite like to sleep. It's been a day.
If you sort of find somewhere to sort of put down your bedroll and try and rest, Aspen's going to go, hey, I'm up for chess.
Cool. Please be quiet. Play quietly. Win. And remember we talked about being a gracious winner.
Sure.
And then good.
It's a sleepover. Prosp'rus has a lyre. Prosp'rus is playing the folk equivalent of Wonderwall.
Oh no!
But Ivy gives up on trying to find
I can't even retreat to the corner. I have to stay within 10 feet of you at all times.
I'm so glad I'm not there.
We don't need to be here. Can we come hang out with Milk?
Just
Can
once,
I try and-
just to create some atmosphere
Yeah.
and then stops. But
Yeah. It's almost enough to drive me to try and crush a child at chess. Not that I necessarily succeed, but
Raoul is going to step around everyone who started making their home on the floor and join you, Ash, and go, I'm guessing me sleeping here tonight would be something of a problem.
if anything, less than usual. I mean, everyone else is here.
Oh, you're okay with...
No, I was being facetious, but you know what? Do what you want. Things are turned around enough.
Would me being here make you more or less comfortable?
It's just hard to imagine being less comfortable. You know what? Some space would be good, I say, aware of the irony.
I'll go to my tent. It's fine.
Thanks.
Gives you a sort of very brief, light hug, and if you will allow it, a peck on the cheek, and then heads down and out.
Just daring anyone to make a comment.
No one appears to.
did Kenna come up here?
No.
I did send for Kenna.
You sent for your stuff, not for Kenna specifically.
No, I did ask also
you
for
said-
Kenna.
Did
Okay.
ask for Kenna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In which case, as Raoul is leaving, Kenna sort of, oh, sorry, comes up. Prosp'rus, what am I doing here?
Apparently, we're all sleeping here tonight before we go on a trek tomorrow.
Oh,
up the
no.
glacier. Oh, sorry. Tone. Before we go on a very important journey up the glacier, which I'm taking wholly seriously, of course.
She steps over to you and sort of grabs you by the arm and lifts you like, come over here and talk to me over here, like,
Oh,
some
okay.
privacy.
Do you want to go downstairs?
No, it's fine. Just in a corner. We're taking all these people?
Yeah, all these people.
There are children here.
Yeah, but I can do that spell which makes things not attack them.
Do you realise how much danger you're putting these people in?
I can ask them to stay, but if they choose to come, they choose to come. Also, apparently there's a mind-altering substance and they want to stay all within 10 feet of me all the time. So dates are going to be really hard for the foreseeable future.
I'm going to take that at face value. Okay.
Please don't eat any of the black stuff.
Is this all about the black stuff?
It spoke to Viktor and pretended to be his god. Oh, and it said devour to milk.
Okay, that's... Kenna's going to take some time to herself this evening to think that through. As you all keep playing chess, Wonderwall on the lyre, and Ashra sits in a corner with her arms crossed, I imagine.
Pretty much.
I do it once and then stop.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Milk,
Yeah.
as you head back to your tent, does anyone else have access to your tent? Is it magically sealed, or can people just go in and go out?
The only person who might be able to get in without some kind of fracas would be Colbeck, I imagine.
Cool. You head inside your tent?
I insight check my tent.
You can't insight check your tent. It is an inanimate object.
Well, now I'm suspicious of my tent. I'm just careful. I'm always careful.
Sure. Yes.
Can I just do a quick investigation to see if anything looks out of place?
Sure.
Pretend the dice means something, Chris.
You wouldn't know it's metagaming to fuck, but all right.
I roll a 7 anyway, so
Looks fine. Looks normal.
good. I will. I think I might just pocket Melinoe.
You're going to pocket her, just like make her fade out.
Yeah, just less likely of something terrible happening to her.
As you step into your tent, Colbeck is sat in presumably a chair that is always there for him. That he just tends to be there when he is in there without you knowing he's there. He tends to wait in this chair, presumably, like somewhere that's like a set locale.
Okay. I thought you were down the mine. No, you were. Sorry, I didn't think that at all. I knew you were eating in the thing. Sorry, it's been a long day. Wow, am I exhausted and confused?
I'm keeping the mine entrance safe through other people right now, but
good. I think the plan is to depart. I suspect you might be left in charge. Would you be worried there might be a mutiny on your hands?
No.
No, I thought not.
Where are you going?
Well, I believe that one of the local communities might know something about the situation, and given that it seems to be uncertain what's going on here, we're going to go and investigate.
It's dangerous out there.
It's also dangerous here, darling, to be fair.
No, it isn't.
Well, okay, I mean, as with Prosp'rus, if you stand within 10 feet of you, granted, it's more likely that other things will die. But I think in the circumstances, trying to keep everyone together and animate is probably for the best. We've been through worse. Do you remember the war?
That gets kind of a shrug off. I'm guessing this is about the black stuff.
Yes, this is very much about the black stuff.
Should I avoid it?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Don't touch it. Don't let anyone else touch it. And be very careful with anyone who has touched it. It seems like it might just fade away, but who knows? I think there's a presence of some kind, an entity. And I'm not sure what its intentions are.
It's our food supply now that the governor's cooked everything we have left.
True, and if we have to drink poisoned water, then so be it. But nevertheless.
Thank you for the information.
Anytime, love.
Actually, I'm here about something else.
Fire away.
Have you heard of the pitch?
I roll history?
Yeah, sure.
15.
The name rings a bell. It's not something you would go like, oh yes, those people. It would be more of the, is that something I've heard of? Feels like it's an organization of people that do something. That's all you have from that 15.
Is that an organization of people who do something?
Yes. Secret sect of monks.
Perhaps you're drawing a link between... I see. What can you tell me about them?
Not a lot.
Anything at all?
They tend to keep to themselves. Send agents around the world to do their business.
The kind of business that might conflict with our business?
I don't think so. But before we left, I was looking out for some new work. You know, just stuff on the side. I heard mention of 2 monks who had run away.
In what circumstances?
Not great ones.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I don't know that a big bruiser like yourself need be troubled by the activities of 2 little monks. We are, at the end of the day, very far away from everywhere.
5,000 gold.
Ooh. That is quite a lot of handbags, I will admit. At the moment, I really think it's best that we focus on not trying to all die out here.
No, I know. I'm not going to do anything now. I think we know who I'm talking about. But
yes.
They want them alive, Milk. If you're going to go somewhere, then you keep them alive for me, yeah?
Absolutely. Rely on me to keep as many people alive as possible, unless it, somehow becomes difficult. But yes, just maybe hold off on the, confusing bounty situations with life or death situations. I can't switch genre that quick, frankly. So hold off on that. Focus on the immediate issue. And yes, of course, my love, we shall figure out whatever we can figure out when we are in a more stable situation to do so.
You're the boss.
I was going to say something and I changed my mind.
He gets up. I'm guessing that I'll hear from Miss Beggett in the morning about the plans.
You will. Between you and me, stay in touch. I mean, I know you'll struggle because I'm the one of us who's psychic, but I'll stay in touch. Look out for my messages. If you don't receive one within 24 hours, it means either they've killed me or, oh no, it means that they've killed me. And yeah, let me know if the camp gets out of hand. I'm sure you can handle yourself, but there's a lot of big bruises here.
Huh. Sure. He sort of steps past you and gives you a sort of clap on the shoulder. If you're in trouble, just let me know.
Same goes, sweetheart.
And then walks out.
Yeah. Always in charge of everything. Never in third.
Cool. Do you all long rest?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll use one of my remaining spell slots to re-up my animate deadness before I rest, because that seems sensible.
Mm-hmm. You all awaken in Ashra's tent, bar Milk, obviously. All having rested quite well. It's quite comfortable compared to what you're used to.
Another day. Let's go outside and see if it's sunny.
It's not.
I love the optimism. It's great. Genuinely, it's great.
As you all
George or Ashra?
Oh, George. Very clear distinction there.
all go about your business and get ready for the day. What in particular are people doing, like getting ready to depart? What's the plan? How is it going to be organised? Talk me through all of that.
I take down my tent,
Mm-hmm.
put everything away. It takes me 5 minutes because I do this every day in my normal life.
Mm-hmm. So you're good to go.
Yeah, and then I stand there looking at everyone else like, what the fuck are you doing? And we'll help if anyone's taking a really long time. Like, we'll go stand next to people and be like, do you require assistance? Probably Ashra, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm going to say my first thing was to write a bunch of notes. So I'm just like, you've gone, you come back and you find me just writing at my desk, like having not packed a stitch.
Do you require assistance with packing?
No, I'll be fine. I just need to issue a few instructions and orders and contingencies to ensure that things are kept running correctly as far as possible until your turn, and to make sure we have some of the food remaining if there is any, and to make sure that there are things that need addressing.
I see. Can I rephrase that? Do you require assistance speedily packing?
I'm genuinely confused. I'm going about this as fast as is practical.
Right. Prosp'rus
I'm
just
sure.
looks like a Labrador who desperately wants to go for a walk.
I'm sure I'll be ready in perhaps an hour or so.
Right.
Kenna has got up and packed up and is sort of climbing down the stepladder into this conversation. Right, I'm ready to go when everyone else is.
An hour, apparently.
What? Why?
I don't know.
Oh. Could you hurry it up?
I have tried that.
No, not you. Looks at Ashra. Could you hurry it up?
Perhaps I was going to facetiously suggest that perhaps you might like to write these notes, but I fear that you would take me up on that. I will be ready as soon as possible.
I get a pen.
No, the implication was not that you cannot write.
I just write, back soon. Right, can we go now?
Brilliant. Thank you, Prosp'rus.
What's everyone else doing while this farce is playing out?
I would like to find someone to take over the medical tent while I'm gone.
There's no one here with any medical aptitude. None of the miners, certainly. You could probably go talk to Garvanor about it.
Right,
Camp
I'll
Quartermaster.
go talk to the governor if there's no one else.
As you head out into the mash tent, and I'm presuming Cyrus is coming with you for the time being, just like following in your footsteps, like just hanging nearby. As you step outside, again, a step away from Prosp'rus, you get that vague, like it's back again. Cyrus also sort of, as you both step out and away from Prosp'rus, I think with a kind of, when I'm around the paladin, I feel much more chilled out than when I'm not. Is that normal?
For us, yes, I think it is.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
you haven't heard any voices.
Oh no, sorry, it's the wrong way around. Sorry, blah, it's the wrong way around. I feel much more chill now we're not with the paladin. Is that normal? My bad.
I'm very sorry. Okay. He warns on you.
Okay.
He's nice. He is.
Okay.
I think we're...
Have you got more of the stuff?
I think it's best we maybe save that for later.
All right, you're the boss.
I'm not. Right. We're looking for my elephant-headed friend. Where is he?
If you head inside the Mash Tent, Garvanor is, as always, behind the bar as you come in. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
I've got a full breakfast planned, and then by this evening we'll be out of grub.
Good. Right, I can maybe conjure up some more for you before I leave. Oh, by the way, I'm leaving.
Where are you going?
Oh, Chris, what's the name of the place we're going?
You don't know.
Oh, okay. Thank goodness. We're in...
Don't worry. Oh, you don't know, and neither does Viktor. It's fine.
I just fancied a stroll, that's all. It's good to explore.
Out in the blizzard? You and whose army?
I tend to run hot. I prefer not to stay with an army anymore, just a few good friends.
All right, that's intriguing. What do you need from me?
I need someone to make sure that no one's hurt while I'm gone. You know anyone with medicine experience? Anything?
I'll see what I can conjure up.
Good man. And look, maybe stay away from the mines for a little bit, yes?
I mean, I've already been told to stay away from the mines for a little bit, so I guess I'll keep following that order from on high. Wink.
Well, whether you listen to it and whether you follow it, that's up to you, but I'd at least wait till I get back.
Viktor, I will do as I please. Now, do you want me to find your replacement? Then that's all good. I'm on it.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Am I feeling hungry right now?
Yeah.
Like,
it's the morning.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take a serving of breakfast and I'll leave.
Okay. Cyrus will do the same. Right. The rest of you are all praying. Ivy, what are you and Aspen doing?
I will check in with Aspen that, like, obviously, I very much would like to keep you with me because, you know, I love you and I don't want you to die. But where we're going is out onto a glacier in a blizzard.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah, I don't know why I even thought you'd want to be left behind. I am an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go find... You don't have enough layers. Let's go find some more warm things.
We're surrounded by layers. And you're surrounded by throws and cushions and divans and stuff.
Yeah, but you can't wear a cushion, Aspen.
Takes a cushion, wraps it on.
I mean, I was thinking like a coat, a cloak, but, you know, I guess you don't need to...
Takes one of the wall hangings and pulls as it tears off and just drapes it over the shoulders.
This is fine. This wasn't like Miss Beckett's home or anything.
Is it a problem? Do you want me to not do it?
It might be a problem.
Oh, I'll put it back. Puts it back. It sort of hangs limply, like it's clearly been torn off the wall.
Well, let's just go. Let's just go. It's fine. We'll blame. No, who knows? Let's go find some like actual made to wear clothes.
There are some stores and supplies. People travelling on the glacier, not on the glacier, back and forth to Ten Town. So there are bigger furs you can get for Aspen and yourself if you want.
Brilliant. That is what I will do, and I will tease Aspen by, I mean, if you want to wrap yourselves in cushions, because you're definitely not going to be fighting, so it doesn't matter if you can hit or not, because, we both know you can't.
I can still do this. It's fine.
Oh, you're adorable. Let's get a coat.
And those of you who have been talking this through are now all convening in the base of the tent. Milk, any particular morning plans before you join everyone else?
Milk's having a slow bath, just to sort of, wash off the night before. If it's going to be cold where they're going. And other than that, just making a little breakfast of whatever's available.
You can grab breakfast from the mash tent. There is quite a hearty meal being prepared, so you can pick bits of that.
Choose an outfit.
Cool.
What is the outfit?
Yeah.
I was thinking chainmail and polar bear fur, because it's not real fur, because it's just imaginary, but like, just paneled. So chic but effective.
Yep. Ashra, what notes are you writing? What plans are you making?
Making sure if some of the leftover food is like to Garbanor to pack up for us, so we have some like actually ready. I know Victor can prepare things, but like some of the supplies can come with us.
Mm-hmm.
To whoever I need to get the mining operation started up again.
You could put you could put Raoul in charge of that. You put.
I was going to say, yeah, I probably would put Raoul in charge anyway, so I could actually have that, communicate that in person, but write it up so there is some kind of record of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the main things. It honestly wouldn't take that long.
What are you doing about the food situation? Does the previous order stand that once food runs out, eat the ooze?
Yeah, it'll run out slightly faster because we're taking things with us. But I'll put Raoul in charge of the logistics and encourage them to not make it a free-for-all in terms of access to the source, but have it brought out. But I appreciate there's limited control that can be exercised over that.
As you give them all of these orders, as they join you, presumably with the others around, but a bit quietly, they just lean into you. Despite everything that was said yesterday, you think that me and everyone here should be eating it?
I can't see any alternative. Well, any alternative that is worth taking.
I mean, it's you now know it controls people's minds.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, I would not suggest this if there was any other option, and we're taking the action we're taking precisely to see that the effects can be reversed. If you want to hold out for longer, you're welcome to, but you will have to eat it before we return.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but
it's not your fault.
It is what it is.
So keep digging.
Keep digging. See what you find.
Okay.
You find something useful. The off chance you find some other source of this stuff, use that instead.
Okay.
Do what you need to do.
I will. I mean, will you be all right?
Probably. We'll see what happens.
Are you taking Kolbeck?
No.
Okay.
I'd rather have him here. Keep an eye on him. He's useful, but it would be dangerous for him to exercise any ambitions he may have.
He's never gonna... He can't really rise up the ranks, can he? He can't cast a spell.
No, and maybe that's a source of frustration, or maybe he just wants to... I think Kolbeck just enjoys what he does a little too much, and will potentially manufacture opportunities to do it more.
I'll keep an eye out.
Thank you, and I'll squeeze them on the arm.
Give you a little smile back.
Look after yourself. Look after everyone you can, and keep digging.
Keep digging. If that's all of you are prepared and preparing at the meeting up probably in Ashra's tent and then moving out to the outskirts of Camp Hal to move out of the ravine and onto the glacier itself. So just to confirm, the party is the 5 of you plus Cyrus. 6, sorry. No,
I was saying skeletons and zombies.
The 5 of you plus Cyrus and Aspen and how many zombies and skeletons?
Also, I have to bring them with me. I can't leave them.
You're taking all 6 of them.
Unless anyone else, I mean, maybe someone at the camp can cast Animate Dead and can therefore keep them ticking over.
George, let's make our lives easy here. DM to player. How many of your skeletons would you like to have with you?
Let's bring 3.
You bring 3, and then the other 3.
That's a simple.
Another member of the Brotherhood in the camp will be able to cast Animate Dead, and therefore will be able to keep them animate.
Fine.
That makes
it.
And Kenna as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Big party. So all of you are DM's dream. So all of you are gathering at the front of the camp. There are now, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of you in this. How are you planning on traveling? What kind of arrangements are you making for moving? Kenna will need to be scouting up front to find the way, because she'd need to find her way home to a place that she hasn't been to in a long time, so that might be quite tricky. Is there any particular sense of marching order? It doesn't have to be a line, just a sense of how this arrangement is being set out.
Kenna,
Yeah.
would an elk be able to navigate this terrain that we're going?
I mean, elk live on the glacier, yeah.
Cool. I asked you this 10 minutes ago. I spent the next 10 minutes casting Find Steed.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Amazing.
And I now have my magical Fey elk.
Mm-hmm. You're riding
Awesome.
a magical Fey elk. Anyone else got any mounts? There are no mounts in camp. They were in the caravans that all left.
I mean, I could happily turn someone into an elk if they want to be an elk for a while.
I'll pass.
Hard pass.
Aspen?
My plan with the elk is also that the elk could carry a lot of the stuff, which means that people are less burdened down if we're travelling on difficult terrain.
Cool. Okay, so the
I'm
elk...
assuming the skeletons can carry some stuff as well.
The
if they're
skeletons,
given packs.
skeletons are strong enough. They can carry, like, effectively rucksacks with food and some other stuff on them. That is perfectly fine. So are we saying that the skeletons and the elk between them are carrying most of the supplies, tents, so there's a tent for everyone, and that everyone else is basically quite free and loose? I'm also assuming that you're all wrapped up in various furs and things to keep you warm, because it is ass-bitingly cold out there. So, Milk, how are you doing this? Because your clothes are usually illusions. What are you wearing underneath your illusions?
Well, between you and me, DM, he's quite well wrapped up, but the outfit that he's chosen is provocatively holy, in that it's made out of chain, because why dress for the weather? But yeah,
so you're wearing chainmail and a polar bear skin, but
it's like a polar bear head. Yeah, and like this
but you're not wearing anything under the chainmail. The chainmail is just chainmail.
Well, bits of fur, like, to cover the modesty and stuff, but just something that says "Let's go into the wilderness." It looks like sort of nomadic, I guess, sort of nomadic wayfarer. But he'd be really embarrassed if anyone knew that he was really wrapped up in loads of cardigans, etc.
It's loads of cardigans, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. In which case, as all of you are arranging yourselves at the front, again, what's the sort of marching order? So you're on an elk.
I have my elk.
Are you riding
That's
up
so
to the
cool.
front on the elk? Because that way you're quite easy to spot, so people can catch sight of you even in a blizzard, and Kenna can then be with you and slightly ahead of the rest of the party. What's the sort of idea of how this traversal is going to work?
I mean, I'm happy to be like the thing at the front that draws attention away from anyone who might be like stealth doing perception.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to be the big bulky thing that would draw attention away from other things.
Okay, so you're at the front with Kenna. What's everyone else sort of in terms of marching order of what they want to do? What are they doing?
I want to be in the middle.
Okay.
Do you really, George?
Yeah. Well, people, you can get attacked from the back, so middle.
Where are your skeletons? Are they behind you or in front of you?
In front of me.
Why is that, George?
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm sure the wind is strong enough to blow an arrow backwards at me.
We'll see.
It is now.
Yes. Sorry, Becky.
Can Ivy use her extra speed, because I imagine we're moving quite slowly, to basically keep a circumference loop around the party? So just not particularly quickly, because it's freezing, but keep a circuit going, keeping an eye out for what's going on at a bit of a distance.
Sure, that's no problem. If you are moving around and with everyone, is Aspen in the group, or is...
I'll have left Aspen in the middle, in between two warm-looking people.
I'm going to say that after last night's excursions, Aspen and Cyrus are getting on quite well. So
Yes.
the two of them are sort of together, probably in front of Ash and the zombies, but skeletons.
Who won the chess game
Why don't you
between
roll?
Aspen and Cyrus?
Interesting. Well, in terms of stats, I think it's probably Aspen. I'll just check.
Good.
Yeah, Aspen definitely won. But
Cool.
she also
She
gloated
must have
about
taken
it.
my advice about
No.
she didn't take my advice
She
about being a
gloated the
gracious
shit out of it,
winner.
but Cyrus quite appreciated that, as in someone who's like Got a bit of personality.
Yeah, okay, fair.
So the two of them are up front, with the skeletons behind them and Ashra behind that. Where is everyone else in this marching order?
I'd also like to be somewhere middling, if I may.
No problem. You're in the
Is this
middle.
a situation in which stealth would be useful? Or...
We'll get to that in a second. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
This is just to get the idea of how this caravan of people moves across. So, Milk, you're with Ashra, basically.
Yes.
Victor?
I have no preference, but I can stay around the middle, if that's helpful.
Someone has to be at the back.
So, no one's in the back right now.
I'll be at the back.
Victor's taking up the rear. Lovely. Okay. So the group of you are at the front of the ravine, about to move out onto the glacier. As you're all collecting yourselves, Kenna does turn around to all of you and... right, hi everyone. So I guess I'm going to be guiding you to the springs. So, yeah, the glacier's pretty dangerous. So you need to keep an eye out on your footing in particular. Ice can break away and it can be dangerous. If you have like a buddy system, like if you can see someone in front of you and you can make sure you're stepping where they're stepping, or like keep an eye on where they're going, that's the best idea. Prosp'rus going to be on the elk. So that's an easy way to know something heavy can stand where Prosp'rus is standing. So if you're like aiming for that, that's good. Try and be quiet. Yeah, try and be stealthy, I guess. Like you don't want to draw attention up here, not unless we're hunting, and we're not. So let's not.
We could, though. It would be quite fun.
We don't need to, and we shouldn't.
Are we all in a 30-foot radius?
How many of you are? There's 11 of you, so that means that 30 foot, 5, 6. Everyone could cluster within 30 feet of each other, yes?
I have a thing I could do that would make us all quite a lot quieter for an hour if we all stay close together. Is that useful?
We're going to be traveling for 5 days. Maybe save
Yes,
that when
but-
there's some visible danger on the horizon. Yeah?
Cool.
Cool.
Sounds good.
I mean... Okay, let's get going. Right. And Kenna's not a natural speaker. She is going to step out and with Prosp'rus following alongside and everyone else, I guess, sort of moving with. And you slowly start making your way out onto the... It's pitch black. You have no idea what time of day it is, but it feels like morning to all of you because of when you last slept. As you step out, the end of the ravine opens out onto the whole flat glacier as a whole, and as such you are quite able to step out onto snow and ice and start stepping your way slowly across the glacier. And it is slow moving. The blizzard is constant. The howling of the ice and the howling of the ice and the snow is pretty constant as well, so talking is difficult too. It is a horrific environment. Can I just confirm that, Victor, you're quite a long way away from Prosp'rus, and Ashra, you're also relatively not close by. What are you going to do about that?
Should probably stick closer to Prosp'rus in that case.
Okay, are you going to move up?
About that consideration.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll move in front of my skeletons.
Fool. In which case...
that's very sensible.
Ashra and Victor, you can step up to the front, so ahead of Cyrus and Aspen, and then you are within 10 feet of Prosp'rus, so you are able to maintain that range. And again, you both notice, Ashra, in your case, as you step into Prosp'rus's aura, you do feel more worry and concern. There was even a small part of you, whenever you slightly stepped out of range, going, I don't really want to leave. I've got important things to do. This is bad, but you also notice every time you step into Prosp'rus's aura that you stop feeling that, and you have started to recognize what this is, and are going, I need to double second guess myself pretty much constantly at this point. Victor, on the other hand, being in Prosp'rus's aura for you is actually very pleasant, because the moment that you step inside, that sort of feeling of someone's trying to get on me, someone's trying to get up in my shit, doesn't come to you in the same way. So you are actually quite calm in this space. Cyrus is also close enough to stay within range, and again, like Ash, appears to sort of probably try and pull back a little bit to stay out of range semi-constantly if you don't G him up to keep pulling back into range of the aura.
So how does Cyrus look?
Cyrus, whenever he's in in Prosp'rus's aura, looks like a bit worried and not quite sure about what's going on or the safety of this situation. Whenever he falls back a little bit, starts to look a bit calmer and a bit more contented, but also turns head every now and again to look back towards the camp. You've barely been traveling for 5-10 minutes, but already the lights of the camp are a distant memory.
You're doing okay?
I just feel like I want to go back. Like, this crazy idea, and back there's food, it's safe. We're just walking in the middle of a blizzard here, Viktor. This is what it's led to, yeah?
Like, we're coming back. This isn't it. We're coming back. We're just... Come on, this isn't the worst place to put ourselves in. It'll be fine.
No, there was the muddy trenches were pretty bad, but
Oh, they sucked.
Yeah. If you keep Cyrus sort of with you at arm's length, you can keep Cyrus in Prosp'rus's aura, and you do start to calm Cyrus down while Cyrus is not charmed to have a better feeling about all of this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Excellent.
As you all move ahead into the blizzard, Kenna's up front with you and Prosp'rus, and the two of you are moving forward. She does point out to you, you can just about, through the blizzard, get a sense of topography, because the light from the sky, the aurora borealis that is pretty much constant, does catch like peaks of farm mountains, and you can get a slight sense of direction. And Kenna's sort of pointing out, we want to go about 3 steps, points out with hands, to the east of that mountain for the time being until we get to the first gully.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you are moving forward through the ice. Is anyone doing anything as you move through the blizzard? Any particular things you want to be doing or people you want to be trying to talk to?
I'm going to cast Mage Armor. In case it was not enough. So I also pretty want to carry a torch myself for once, because that's light and a small amount of warmth.
Sure.
I was just bundling up and looking slightly sideways at Milk, who's in this completely visibly inappropriate garment.
Milk, just having a lovely time.
Kenna, what kind of things come out on the glacier?
Well, in the daytime, there's all sorts of things, but the problem is it's night, and it's been night for a while, and when it's night for a while, some of the creatures that tend to hunt at night tend to be out all the time.
But like
it's like a feast for them.
Like, are they a bit like fiendish or undeady or
Oh no, it's mostly animals, like things that live here naturally,
Oh, okay, so they're not like celestial. I'm just checking.
What are you talking about?
Well, I can sometimes sense those kind of things.
I mean, go for it if you want to.
Well, it won't help if they're not those things.
Well, okay, I guess.
I will try a divine sense just in case.
Cool. You divine sense. Boom. What do you get from divine sense? What?
Know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet, and any affected by the Hallow spell.
You don't get any sense of any of those things. You do.
Do I get three skeletons?
Well, you get the 3 skeletons. You get the undead you're expecting. You don't get anything more than that, but you do get a very vague sort of vom of, the 3 undead, but nothing else beyond that point. As you're moving forward through the ice, going to do some rolls. That's cocked. Come on.
Ivy would ideally like to hunt down Viktor for a conversation at some point, but if we have a combat encounter before then, that is sad.
Well, go, while I'm rolling, go hunt down Viktor. Viktor's
okay.
walking 10 foot
Very quickly, I'm just going to cast a silent image on myself as we're walking around, and me and Ash, which I think it's big enough, just a denser part of the snowstorm, so hopefully you're quite masked.
Oh,
just in case something should come up.
Sure, okay, that's fine by me. Right. You do. Ivy, you were going to go find Viktor, please do.
Yes, at a sensible moment, Ivy will pop up by Viktor and just go, I wasn't very helpful last night. I really don't know much about gods at all, but I do know about people whispering lies in your head, and it sucks. So I'm here if you want to talk.
Yes.
It's an opener, isn't it?
Just kind of put a hand on Ivy's shoulder, like, yep. Victor's not very good at like saying what he's feeling, but is very grateful and keeps walking. Says, I'm always, but I was rude and kind of the worst yesterday. Probably before that. Thank you.
That's all right. You can be as rude to me as you like, as long as you carry on being so sweet to Aspen. It's fine.
Oh no, Aspen's a good kid.
She's pretty great.
Aspen is sort of animatedly chatting to Cyrus. It's a kind of weird buddy comedy forming where the slightly older gruff dwarf, the sort of animated kid asking about cool things that the dwarf has done, and Cyrus getting a vague sense of like, yeah, I am kind of cool, and then delivering like things that he's done as a younger dwarf and lots of fighting that he's been in, and Aspen really digs that shit. So yeah, there's quite a lot of that sort of chat going on. They're not being particularly sneaky about it. Like it's not like they're genuinely getting on quite well.
No, she's a good kid.
Yeah, you don't know the half of it. She is unbelievable. Never ever tell her I said that.
Up ahead, Kenna next to you stops and sort of puts a hand on the elk's side and just, wait a minute.
I get off the elk.
She looks up ahead, and up ahead of you, the glacier's been quite like flat because it's been snowing non-stop for 5 days. Like it's just been crunching through snow. Up ahead of you, you can just about see that the there's almost like a small gully rivulet of like a divot in the top of the glacier. And you can't see much detail of what's there. Can you roll me a perception check, please?
Sure. Nope. 6.
It's too snowy. Looking ahead of you, you can see this slight dip in the glacier ahead of you, but you can't quite see what it is or anything that's there.
Is Kenna moving ahead?
Kenna is just waiting there and looking ahead and just staring out into the blizzard, looking.
What are you?
If I'm near Prosp'rus, because of the aura, can I also make a perception check?
If you step up, they've stopped. So if you want to step up, you're more than welcome to.
Sure, yeah.
Sure. George, if Ashra wants to step up and make a perception check, please do.
I will do that, and I will do that.
Milk, you step with to maintain the silent image? Grand. How long does silent image last?
10 minutes, I think.
It lasts however long, but I have it at will.
Oh, okay, so you can keep it going.
It's one of my at wills.
Yeah, you keep
it lasts an hour.
Okay.
But, Oh, no, is that right? No, 10 minutes, sorry. And it's concentration.
But you can keep it going. So if you're keeping it going, that's fine. You can walk with Ash. Ash, you step up and...
13.
Looking out, you can see this sort of slight dip in this sort of snowy landscape. And in that slight dip, you can see 6 what look like mounds of snow are moving about in this slight gully. You can also vaguely see that this gully there's a rivulet of water that runs through. It is mostly frozen over, but in places it's been cracked and these creatures appear to be drinking from it.
Are those things threats? I say mostly to Kenna, but whoever's in earshot.
I don't know what they are. It'll be some kind of... A lot of beasts tend to congregate at the gullies, but there are also some of the few landmarks we can use.
Do we need to go through it?
No, we can go around if we're careful.
Maybe it's time to get Ivy.
Okay. Looks back. Ivy, are you there, basically?
I'll be there. I heard my name.
You can help us be sneaky through this bit. It might be useful.
Great. I will expend 2 key points to cast Pass Without Trace.
As you do, there's a faint... Like, your magic's not very visible, but there is a sort of... Ivy sort of concentrates, at which point the wind and the snow all around you seems to almost collect around you a little, like almost starts to form ranks around you, like you're being shielded from view. Everyone please make me a stealth check as you move in a sort of 60-foot arc around this gully away from these creatures.
Oh boy.
It was plus 10, is that right?
It
Yeah,
Plus 10.
yeah.
Disadvantage based on your armor and that sort of thing, and you add 10 because of past that trace. Hang on, I've got to roll for a lot of NPCs.
Oh, I have advantage and +8. I forgot this was the thing I was really good at.
I have disadvantage.
Hang on, everyone just remember your numbers, and if you have other people that you're rolling for, including your elk, please roll them.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, and Mel.
Melano is fine. A familiar, you don't need to worry, but Steed is big enough.
Okay. Awesome.
Wow, that's terrible rolls for
The
randos.
elk is stealthier than me.
Right, so for everyone's information, Aspen rolled a 7, Cyrus rolled a 5, and
Plus 10.
yes, and Cyrus and those 2 7s, and Kenna rolled a 7, so that's 15s and 17s respectively. Where's everyone else at?
14.
14, and the elk?
17.
17, okay.
I have disadvantage. I'm wearing plate mail.
Everyone else?
23 with all the things added in.
23. Victor? Victor?
Hi, I don't know if I heard because it's cutting out a bit for me.
Oh, sorry. Roll me a stealth check.
Hello. No, it's okay. I can hear now. I would like to say for a record that I did roll a nat 20, but I'm at disadvantage, so it's an 8.
So 18 because of pass without a trace. Ivy?
Yes.
34.
Maxie is at a disadvantage.
34.
Cells.
16 +8 +10.
Amazing.
Crazy. Ash?
I got 28, which is great. The skeleton's got 24, 16, and 17.
So the lowest is Prosp'rus 14?
I think so.
Great.
Thank goodness we did pass that trace, or we'd have had a
Yes, that
whole
was-
bunch of 5s.
But yeah.
Right.
4. It would have been a 4.
Right. Then in
Sorry
which
about that.
case I will roll for the 6 monsters. Advantage on perception checks.
Oh boy.
There's 6 monsters.
Yes, there are. So that
Right.
is
Apparently animate mounds of snow.
that is a 12.
Yeah. That's good.
There it is. That is a 21.
Oh.
So as you are slowly stealthing your way around the edge of this, most of you can't see this, but Ash, you did manage to see this, so I'll give this to you from your visibility. Looking out through the ice, you can see that one of these sort of mounds of snow sort of rears up and looks around. You can't see what the creature is, it's too far away, but it's definitely noticed something. And it is going to turn and start padding out in your general direction. It's still about 50 feet away. The others so far... Oh, God. Never mind. 2, 3... Quite a few of them are now moving up. One of them is completely oblivious because that was the first roll I did, but the rest are sort of testing the air, moving up and around. They look from your range like bears. They're very bear-like physiognomy, but you do see a sort of glint of what looks like beak by the face.
You gonna let us know?
We appear to be compromised.
Channel divinity.
Fuck it. Prosperous Challenge Divinity.
And I'm gonna run in.
Blom. The scythe suddenly goes, you leave your elk.
Yeah, no, I'm leaving the elk because the elk only has 10 hit points.
Grant.
I
So-
specifically got off the elk for this purpose.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
it's
Prosperous is going to start running towards these creatures as they start seeing this and start loping towards all of you. Is anyone joining Prosperous, or should that be the point where we enter initiative?
I mean, I'm not going to run, but I could do something as well.
I'll be running with Prosp'rus. 'Cause
Okay.
as he's done it, he has to. I can't go alone.
Victor, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stay near Frost.
Shit, yeah.
You're going to follow up behind Prosperous, staying about 10 feet behind. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
I'm going to stay away. I'm going to stay away.
That's the thing to do.
Ash, you're going to stay behind. Milk, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
I'm going to stay near the elk.
I'm trying to create 2 separate lines so that you squishies are not next to all of these bears.
Agreed. I'm going to stay where I am.
Cool. That is canonically what's happening. Ivy, as you're running up, Aspen is going to run up behind you unless you tell her not to.
Just about to say, as I run, I go, Aspen, stay with Cyrus, take my sword.
Cyrus is also running up behind, following Victor.
Aspen, stay with someone who's far back. Only fight if you have to.
Roll a persuasion check.
Is Aspen right behind me?
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause she was with
I
Cyrus.
also turn around, like to land, and just be like, "Go, stay."
Okay. With advantage.
Ooh, Thank you. Oh, thank goodness, because one of those was a natural 1 and the other was a 16. So that is persuasion 18.
Yeah, Aspen just, steps back and lets everyone else run forward, but she's going to stay back with the skeletons, the wizards, warlock, and the elk.
I don't know, Chris, what you've got her equipped with on your stat block, but Ivy's been carrying around a sword that she doesn't use that she will have made sure Aspen has for this work.
Aspen is better without a sword. Aspen is trained in the same arts that you are, just nowhere near as advanced.
Can you remind her of that? Then she'll have, unless anyone in the party would have needed it, the sword will just casually be in the packs. It's all fine. Great, ignore that.
In which case, can everyone please roll me initiative?
God.
Oh, no.
And I'm using D&D Beyond's initiative tracker, so please feel free to shout them out as you have them.
I got a natural 1, which is a natural 1 because I have +0 to initiative.
Wow.
Anyone else?
Oh, no.
19.
19 for Ivy, and a 16
I also got a 19.
for Mil, and a 19 for Ash. Victor?
6. One day I'll roll well initiative, but it's never happened yet.
So Ivy's gonna go hit 5 monsters with her fists.
6 monsters with your fists.
Oh, did the 6th one here? I thought the 6th one didn't know where we were.
The 6th one, now that there's a glowing scythe just cutting through the blizzard, and please note, there's still a blizzard. It's howling ice and wind. It's horrible. Ash, I believe Ivy goes before you because Ivy has a better dexterity mod. Because
I think technically we decide, but Ash makes sense. Ivy makes sense to go first in my mind.
Ivy, you are running up with the others towards these. They're about 30 feet away from you as they are loping towards you. You can use your movement as if you haven't moved yet to have your whole turn. So there are 6 of these very large-looking, almost polar bear-style things running up towards you. But you look out into the blizzard and you swear they've got the face of an owl as 6 snowy owl bears come charging towards all of you looking for a tasty snack.
So you counted an owlbear in a game before. This is the best thing. Okay.
I'm canonically love owlbears, so yeah.
I'll sacrifice myself for an owlbear's meal.
But yes, there are 6 of them just charging up towards all of you. They're about 30 feet away, respectively.
Ivy will just say, right then. Great. And then sprint to the first one and hit it.
Oh, maybe an attack roll.
How tall are they?
Owlbears are quite big creatures. They are, hang on, there's a D&D term for it I will find. Owlbears are large.
Large?
Yes.
So I can't hit their face. I'll be hitting their torso.
It's up to you where you want to try and hit the owlbear.
Fair was the sensible reach place. Where's my plus to hit? Come on. Oh, that's because I'm on my equipment. So 1 is 23 to hit.
Yes, you hit with the first. Are you attacking the same one or are you moving between them?
I'll focus on 1.
Cool. So you hit once with 23?
And once with 22, I'm assuming I also hit.
You do, yes.
So I'll start there with 36. Oh, 2 5s. So 20 points of damage.
Yep, you step in and start, and again, boxer stance. How do you box the bear?
I think with great enjoyment. Sort of just so she's sprinting. She doesn't stop to brace. She just sprints and then pushes with as absolute much force as she can with a left hook and then follows it through with a cross.
So you've just squared up to the owlbear and you're just punching away. 2 hits. Bonus action.
Yes. I will use I don't want to spend key points just yet, so I will unarmed strike.
Cool. 1/3 attack.
That's a natural 20!
Hey!
I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah, so the first 2, you sort of punch it, and it does take the damage. It's sort of, like it's not quite sure what to make of all of that, but then as you see it sort of turn, you realise you've got an opening to hook around and just give it a full, across the face. A full snapping the beak back.
That would be another 12 points of damage.
Yeah, this one owlbear already sort of slumps to the ground near you, not out for the count, but is slowed and is very much engaged with you at this point.
Great.
Lovely stuff. Ash, they are about 60 feet away from you and the elk and Milk and the people who stayed back.
How far apart are they from each other? Are they kind of rushing in sort of a
They're
mob?
rushing in basically in bulk, but I would say that if you wanted to use an area of effect, we can roll to see how many you'd hit.
All right. First of all, I'll just deal with the skeletons. I'll just have them defend anyone still with the bulk of I order them to protect themselves and anyone immediately around them, but not to come forward.
In other words, they can hold attacks, and then if something gets them range, then they can attack.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to. They don't have to hold actions even, but that's fine. But yeah, like in future turns, I don't have to order them to do anything else. If in lieu of any other orders, I'll do that.
That's fine.
And Ashra wears a ring. It's like a double ring design, like two finger rings with like a glyph shaped in the top. And I'm just going to hold that out. Yeah, I'm going to hold it out, and I'm going to point it in the direction of the owlbears, snowy owlbears.
Yes.
And I'm going to cast Fireball.
Classic. Very good. Can you roll me a d6 to see how many of them you affect with this?
Absolutely. It's 4.
Yeah. So you fire out, and 4 of them. I'm going to say not the one that Ivy's dealing with, because that way there's a bit of distance there as well.
Yeah, avoid that.
You boom, send out a massive fireball, and 4 of them are suddenly engulfed in flame, and the very loud echoing boom echoes all around the space. Roll me the damage. What do they have to do? Dex saves.
Dex saves, yeah.
Yes, owlbears, those famously dexterous creatures.
Exactly right, yeah.
You could have done this all along and you didn't.
To be fair, I figured the mine wasn't the best place, and also I spent most of the last combat unconscious.
The lowest roll there is a 12.
My DC is 16.
Okay, so 2 fail, 2 pass.
Okay. I get to roll all the dice on D&D Beyond, which is like very satisfying. That seems about right. 22. Yeah, so 22 to the ones who passed, failed the saves, and 11 to the rest.
Cool. That explosion knocks 2 of them back, but 2 of them still burned, keep charging forward, ready to do all of the attacking.
Cool.
Right. Any bonus actions or movement for you?
Bonus action was ordering the skeletons, and otherwise I'm done.
Okay. Aspen, standing next to you, sort of sees the fireball go off and just goes, "Yeah!" Like, it's like, this is cool. Like, it's like really excited and gives you a big grin. And you can see she is itching to run in and do something, but instead she sort of looks up. She sees Ivy, and she also like nods a little bit to herself and is going to sort of step in front of you and Milk and just sort of like hold her fists out like protect. Like, it's basically just stepping in front, doing the protection in case it's necessary. Milk.
Well, without hitting Aspen in the back of the head.
I'm going to say, even with a 1, you're not going to shoot Aspen in the back of the head. That would just be...
I feel with a 1 it's allowable.
We'll step to the side of Aspen.
I will say this, with a 1, there's a lot of other people in front of you between you and these owlbears. We'll find a target.
All right, and it's pretty snowy. But the 2 that are still charging towards us, I'd like to loose a pew-pew at each one. That's the word I'm looking for.
Go for it. 2 shots.
One, sorry.
Please be aware, there are 3 of them still coming, because 1 wasn't hit by the fireball and hasn't been stopped by Ivy.
Okay, so the 2 that have been hit by the fireball and are still charging.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So 25 hits. And 19.
Both hit, yes.
9 for the first, and 11 for the second.
Grand. 2 Eldritch Blast. Again, this strange warping of time and energy comes shooting out of your hands and blast into 2 or more of these into the 2 owlbears that were sort of singed by the fireball, but not like thrown asunder, who are still coming towards everyone else in front of them, but you have managed to damage further. Right, Ivy, the owlbear on you is going to try and turn around and try and maul you.
It has disadvantage.
Why?
Because of my tattoo.
Oh my god. Okay, right. It tries to maul you with its... Oh, Jesus, that's a 9 to hit. And
that misses.
Yeah, and then once it sort of swipes out with its claws and realizes you're not quite there, it's going to look quite confused, and just its beak just pecks in for a big old hefty peck. That is a 13 to hit you.
Misses.
It confusedly, it tries to swipe at you and hit you, but you're moving around very quickly and also not quite where people think you are because of your cloak. So that one does nothing. The other ones are going to keep running. Now, who's running up? Prosp'rus is running up, and also glowing lit scythe, like it's too good to be true. Viktor's running shortly behind, as is Cyrus. Ivy's already engaged. That's everyone, isn't it? They're not missing anyone out. Oh, Kenna's running up as well.
No.
Why?
Why?
Right.
Because you didn't look after your NPC.
Two of them are going to... I'm just going to roll for this. Because they're not smart. Two of them are going to run straight up to Prosp'rus and try and just hit you. They both get 2 attacks. The first is an 18.
Yes, that hits.
The second is a nat 1. So one runs up to you and just the claw comes out and just swipes across you, but the sharp beak peck that follows misses you entirely. The second one is, that's a 26.
Yes, that will hit.
And a 13.
No, that will not.
Cool. So both of them manage to get a claw in, but they don't manage to peck you. So you are just being assaulted by that. Cool. That's 15, 22 plus 10. 32 points of damage. As two of them sort of jump onto Prosp'rus and are just clawing and biting and snarling away. There's also occasionally a faint ooh under all of it because they are owlbears. Run. Ooh.
Thanks.
Right. The remaining 3 are going to try and charge.
Do they run past me?
They're going to go around you, and they're going to be smart enough to not get into range with you, I think, and there's enough of them spaced out that it wouldn't be an issue. So they are going to try and move around you, which puts them slap bang in the path of Cyrus and Viktor. So 1 is going to go for Viktor, and 2 are going to go for Cyrus. So Viktor...
Yeah.
Some of these have been Eldritch Blasts, and some of these have been Fireballs. So they're all looking quite singed and hurt. One of them has not been hit by anything yet. So Viktor, the one that's attacking you is going to just leap out with a claw for a 25 to hit and a 17 on the beak.
Oof.
Okay, the 25 does.
Mm-hmm.
The 18 does not.
Okay, so the claws lash out at you as well, but the peck goes wide. That is 15 points of damage from the claws as they rake across you. The 2 going for Cyrus. Attacking my own NPCs that I am running. 1 hit, 1 miss. 2 hits, 2 misses. So Cyrus takes, that's not a lot, 8, 6 plus 5, 11, 19 points of damage as 2 owlbears are now on Cyrus and just clawing and beak pecking away at him. All 6 of them are now engaged with various people. Hang on, is my maths right?
How's he looking?
So Viktor's got 1, Cyrus has got 2, Prosp'rus, you've got 2, and Ivy's got 1. That's
Ivy
right,
has 1,
6
yeah.
are engaged. Just checking. Good. He looks fine, Viktor. He's a hardy little dwarf, and it's just like, this is just every day. His axe is out, and he's ready to lay down some smack. In which case, it is also his turn, and he's going to lay down some smack with his axe. He slashes out twice with the axe. The first misses entirely, but the second is a 23 and is going to chop into the... yeah, that's 6 points of damage, and chop into one of the owlbears that is currently on him. Great. So many NPCs. Why did you do this? Viktor, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
There is
There is an owlbear on you.
There is an owlbear on me. Well, I'd like to deal with that first, please.
Sure.
And I will... I'll do spiritual weapon afterwards.
Okay.
And first I will... So I can do spiritual weapon from where I am, right?
You can. You can cast spiritual weapon as a bonus action, which can appear anywhere within 20 feet of you, and then it can also attack as part of that bonus action. So...
Yeah, so I thought I could conjure it for my action and then as a bonus action just have it attack again.
You conjure it as a bonus action and then it attacks as part of the same bonus action, and then it attacks on a bonus action every other turn after that.
Oh, sick. Okay, so that's my bonus action.
Okay. Which owlbear is it attacking? Is it this glowing gold sword? What was it called?
A Shashka.
As the Shashka, this gigantic single-bladed Shashka, appears and chops into which owlbear? The one on you, or one of the two on Cyrus, one of the two on Prosp'rus, or the one on Ivy?
Oh, so many of them. I'm gonna one of the ones on Cyrus.
One of the ones on Cyrus. Sure, go for it. Make me an attack roll with the spiritual weapon.
Yeah. Yes, I'm doing that at second level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, second level for now.
Cool.
And that is wrong dice. Wait, I gotta roll to hit, don't I?
You have
Sorry,
to roll to
I'm
hit
being
first.
stupid.
Yeah. It's all good.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Is maths 13 to hit.
13 just hits. That is their AC.
Ooh.
Roll me the damage.
Good to know. Yeah, I will roll damage now. Where's my D8? You're not my D8. There it is. 6.
6 points of damage on one of the owlbears on Cyrus. No problem. And then what are you doing with your action?
Me?
Yeah, Victor, you still have an action.
Yes. I would action that I think is in character, but it's an overreaction, and I shouldn't do it, so I won't. But
no, do what your character would do. Do what your character would do, even if it's dumb.
Do it. We'll save you. It's fine.
Okay.
Definitely.
I'd like to cast Death Ward on Cyrus.
So you can't cast 2 spells. So you can't cast a spell as a bonus action and as an action. You can cast a cantrip, or you can attack.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Then I will cast Sacred Flame.
Cool. On the owlbear on you, or one of the ones on Cyrus again?
One of the ones on Cyrus again.
Cool.
Same one.
Same one.
Let's just say
That fails its dex save.
Lovely. We love to hear. There we go. And that is. Ooh. Hey. That is 12 points.
12 points of damage. Lovely. You chop.
Yeah.
That owlbear is looking mighty unwell. Great. I'm guessing you're not moving out of an owlbear's range or anything stupid like that.
No.
Grand. Kenna is going to run up beside you, Prosp'rus, and she's going to run up beside you, and she's going to attack with you because she is badass. So she runs in, and she gets a +2 to attack rolls. And she has improved critical. Cool. So she is going to run in and strike out with her longsword. That is a non-natural 20 to hit, so she does. And she slashes into one of the ones that's attacking you for... no, it's already there. 8 points of damage. She is now in melee with you with the 2 owlbears that are on you.
Cool. Is it my turn?
It is now... Hang on. Too many NPCs. It is now your turn. Yes, finally, at the end of initiative. Prosp'rus, what would you like to do?
I have a plus... I just want to let you know that I have a +14, so unless I roll a 1, I literally cannot miss.
Yeah. I'm aware of this.
Paladins.
I've rolled a 20... Hang on. No, that's a 19 and a 31.
Well, they both hit, yes.
Right. Hang on. Damage. Right.
Are you doing any divine smites?
Yes.
Oh, burning spell slots.
Kenna is standing here.
Point.
I'm going to smite on the first one.
Sure.
I'm going to smite on the one that she's hit because, action economy.
Okay.
Right. That is... I can reroll that one. Oh, nice. 9, 17... 21, add 6. That's 27 points of damage on the first hit.
It has 2 hit points left. It has 2 hit points left.
I'm going to attack the other one.
Okay.
And I'm going to... Yeah, I'll stick a first level smite into that one as well.
Okay.
Right, that is 10, 16, 23... 29 points of damage.
Solid. And that one's also like as you scythe left and right, cutting through both of these with these sort of divine bits of smiting energy just cutting through them. They both are collapsing to the floor on their last legs, looking absolutely terrible. And as you look around at these other owlbears all assaulting your friends and attacking the front line, so for now it feels pretty safe. That's where we're going to have to pick up next time, because we are out of time. Sorry, everybody, but you can join us for the second part of that combat next week. Right, thank you everyone for joining us for Chapter 4. Yeah, Chapter 4 of Icewind Dale Corrupted. I hope everyone had a good time. We are here Monday nights, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. BST, or Monday mornings if you're in the US. So do join us if you can next week for more Icewind Dale adventures, using some of the material from the new Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden book coming from Wizards of the Coast very soon, at some point towards the end of this summer, I believe. Yes, we are Adventurers Wanted. There are many, many players in Adventurers Wanted. These 5 are joining us for this adventure, and you can find out more about all that we do and the different adventures that we run on our website, adventurerswanted.co.uk. You can find more of our shows on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/adventurerswanted, although frankly most of our content goes to youtube.com/adventurerswanted, where everything's archived. So if you fancy seeing some more stuff from some of these lovely people, then you can head there and find more of it there. On socials, we are Adventurers Wanted, apart from on Twitter, where we're Adventurers250 to celebrate the 250-hour-long show we started off doing this entire adventure with. Not this one, the company. It's there. Good, right. Otherwise, we're on Patreon as well, if you fancy patronising us and helping us make more of the content that we make. Any help is always massively appreciated. Speaking of any help being massively appreciated, massive thanks to D&D Beyond and Ultra Pro. Couldn't do any of this without you, and thank you so much for supporting us in our games and in letting more people see what we do. I think that's basically it from me. Anyone got anything they want to add at the end? No? Thank you very much, everyone.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.